lost. They dropped to 6-8. I'm Eddie Garcia.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And the Lincoln Journal-Star's Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen. Early break, full show ahead, just 3 days away from Christmas. Our second to last show of the week. We are here tomorrow and not Friday.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So although it's Wednesday, this is kind of like our Thursday today, but not really.
Did you hear what I said?
What?
I meant it. That's weird. Sometimes you say stuff you don't think about. It's unfortunate. I like doing the show. I don't.
We'll
why
be
we're not
back
doing
on
the show?
Monday. It's not we're taking a week off.
I'm not complaining, but I'm not complaining. I'm just asking, why aren't we doing the show Monday or Friday?
Because it's Christmas Eve, and that's our observance of Christmas on this station, since it's a Saturday for Christmas,
Just
actually.
wanted to know.
That's the answer there.
I could pretend like I'm doing a radio show on
Sure.
Friday.
Why don't you just wake up at 5:45 and talk in your sleep, and then go back to sleep at 8? That's always fine and dandy.
Kind of what I do anyway.
Yeah. Stop walking here. It is a double barrel Wednesday. We'll talk to Sean Callahan and Parker Gabriel today.
Yeah,
You can
things
also,
are happening.
Also, get your mailbag questions into earlybreak937@gmail.com for 6:45.
Your hair's all matted down. Looks like you're bald.
I am balding. That's just the way of life right now.
Balding.
I can't shake it. I'm trying to shake it. I can't.
Yeah, and it's not. I do some things here that are very questionable and insensitive, like saying that. I can say it because I have experienced hair loss like you.
You're also 55 and I am 30. More acceptable for you than it is for me.
And I was probably a little bit I wouldn't go so far as to say inappropriate yesterday, but I was a little bit
Surly?
no. Yeah, when
That's
you bring up
always a good description for inappropriate sometimes.
When you bring up certain topics, I get surly.
Yeah, surly.
But regarding Mannheim Steamroller, I sort of was. I brushed it off as something that doesn't need to happen, and that's.
I was there, and it was fine. It was great. Sorry, it was not fine. It was great, actually. It was a lot of fun.
Okay, seriously. Now
it was at the Lead Center. There was actually 2 shows yesterday. There's one at 3:00. I went to the 7:30.
3:00.
Yes, and I believe they're both sold out. Mine was for sure sold out.
How do people shake 3 at 3:00?
I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't able. No one in my group was able to go at 3, so we went at 7:30.
You have a group.
Yeah, my mom, my dad, and my wife. How about that? That's the group. All right, that's the group. I didn't go with my bros or my pals. I went with my family and my wife.
Your entourage.
Yeah, my entourage. Yeah, it was great. We had an awesome time.
Good. We're going to talk sports, but we want to get to Mannheim Steamroller. How was the crowd? Sold out?
The crowd was packed.
Really?
So we bought these tickets late. So we didn't have 4 tickets together. We were all in different spots. The same.
All 4 of you?
We were in the same right balcony, but we were all in different spots, like in the middle of a row. Basically.
You didn't sit by Elizabeth.
No, she was. She wanted me to take the front one. She's very kind of her.
Yeah.
I said you could have it. No, she said no, you could have it. So I sat in the farthest of anybody of all of us in the balcony, like the 4th row up.
Okay.
She sat like in the 7th row up, maybe.
So you had good seats.
Yeah, and then my parents were like in the upper section too, also not together at all, in the middle of the row.
Was there popcorn?
That's where I want to get to before I won't spend too much time on this, but not about popcorn. All right, here's the deal. So the Lead Center is very, very, very mask like police
oriented.
Yes,
oriented.
Like you cannot walk in that place or ever walk in there without a mask at any time. Like you go to the bathroom, mask on. Very strict. Okay. Yeah. However, they're still selling alcohol at the Lead Center.
Is that right?
And goodies. You can buy food. So I didn't see any signs at all that said you can't take alcohol into the actual theater. So
Oh, no.
this is where I text you like at 7. The
Yeah,
show
you
starts
did.
at 7:30. I text you at 7:32
Yeah.
saying this is already a bad start here. So when we get to the theater around
Yeah.
7:20,
Yeah.
10 minutes early, go to the bathroom, everything, and I said,
Yeah.
"Oh, I want to get some some wine for this performance."
Yes.
I don't
Perfect.
buy wine that often, but I said, "Oh,
Perfect.
this sounds like a good time to get wine."
How do they sell it?
So they were selling,
What do you drink it out of?
it was like a plastic cup.
Oh, okay.
And they sold some beer and they had some spirits too. And they had like cookies and stuff to buy. So I assume when you're selling alcohol or food at a theater, you can take it into the theater, right? That's the assumption. It's right outside the door. I go down like at 7:27, right before the show, to buy 2 glasses of wine, one for me. I'll take one to my wife, Elizabeth.
Yes, Elizabeth.
I got
Seems
2
very
gla-
normal.
I've got 2 glasses of wine where I could legally buy them outside of the theater,
Mhm.
inside the building, outside the theater. I get to the door to go back in, and the guy was like, "You can't bring those in here." I'm like, "What?" Like, "Yeah, it's a COVID thing." I'm like, I said, "Why are you selling it then?" She's like, "I can't answer that question." I said, "Well, I need to know because now I'm gonna chug 2 glasses of wine." So I'm in panic mode now. I am in panic mode. No, I'm in panic mode
Yeah.
because the problem here, Sip, is that I'm in the middle of the row. Like, I can't just go in late, and I'm gonna piss everybody off if I
Yeah.
slowly drink these
Yeah.
and then walk in as the lights are off, the music's
Oh, yeah.
playing.
Yeah, you're
I'm
in a
gonna piss
jam.
because I have nobody near me to try to back me up.
You're in a jam.
We're
at
all in
this
different
point.
rows. I
Yeah.
am squarely in the center of like a row of 30 people. Like, I
Yeah.
gotta get about 15 people either side. So I
Yeah.
said, I gotta chug these now, and I can't leave.
You're in a wine jam.
So it is 7:28, and I have to. I got 2 glasses of wine, and I guess I could have texted Elizabeth and said, "Hey, come out here." But
Yeah,
she's also in the middle of the row. She'll have
Yeah.
the same problem.
Yeah, she's.
So we can't have 2 people walking in late in the middle of the row and pissing people off.
No.
So I said, "All right, I gotta chug
Did
these."
you chug them?
The first one went down pretty easily. I mean, these are probably about 6-7 ounce pours, not
Okay.
not like 16
Right,
ounces.
right.
That'd kill me.
Right.
But I chugged the first one in about 6 seconds.
Did you?
So that was okay. And the second one did not go down quite as
It
quickly
did not.
because my stomach's like, "Please stop," and my brain said, "Please stop."
Yeah, yeah.
But I pounded it through. It took about a minute or 2 to finish that one. I didn't feel great after that one, but
Didn't
I
you?
walked in
Yeah.
and I just was like, I just wasted $13 on these 2 glasses of wine that I did drink, but I did not intend to chug them. They were supposed to be enjoyed slowly, thoroughly throughout the concert.
Did you have to? How could you even explain it to Elizabeth? when
I
she wasn't-
text her. I got to my seat because I wasn't by her. And I said, I just made a huge mistake. She's like, "What happened?" I said, "I was gonna go bring you a glass of wine and myself one, but they said they couldn't bring wine into the theater or anything, so I had to go chug them outside." And
That's the
she was
problem.
laughing about
That's
it.
a problem.
She said, "Oh, you're gonna be feeling it now." I said, "The
Yeah.
first few songs, I was buzzing pretty good."
You thought it was. You thought it was Paul McCartney and Wings.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, there's a bunch of lights going on the
Yeah.
first couple songs. So my brain's like, "Oh, I can't handle
Oh,
this right now.
This is a
I
night.
can't handle this." So that's the concert was great. I recovered.
Did you take a nap in your
No,
seat?
no, I did not take a nap.
Did you sl-
I did close my eyes for about a minute. at
yeah,
one
so you
point.
did take a nap.
I did take a nap. There was like one slow song I kind of got sleepy by after with my 2 glasses of wine I had to chug. And after that, it was all good.
You didn't actually tell the lady I need an answer because I have to.
No,
tell
I said why. I just
was there sign? Was there? Signs?
I asked her, "Why are you selling this then?"
Yeah. What was there signs that said?
I
you can't-
must have missed it, but it wasn't like there was all over the place saying you can't bring anything into the auditorium.
Mhm.
Have you ever heard of a place where you could buy alcohol at and you couldn't bring
So
it
they
in?
just the idea is probably just to stand in the foyer.
Yeah,
and-
stand in the foyer.
Yeah.
But why would I do that? I'm at a concert.
well, maybe
Like, you can bring alcohol into a concert when you go to it, right?
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this before.
yeah.
Where you can actually they're actively selling it. It's not like you're getting it where you shouldn't be. They're promoting that they have alcohol on sale and
Mhm.
food for sale, but you can't bring it in to the concert.
Okay.
I've never heard of that before.
I got to hear a little bit more about the concert. Mannheim. Like, what is the music exactly?
It's Christmas music. It's like an orchestra, basically,
So, okay, so
with
big
with like synthesizers and that kind
Okay.
of stuff.
a big orchestra with synthesizers.
Yeah.
And they play all Christmas music.
All Christmas songs. Yep.
Okay.
Like their best song is "Deck the Halls," in my opinion. That's
Okay.
you would know that song when
Yeah.
you heard it. Like, oh yeah, it's been on commercials, and
Yeah.
their version of "Carol of the Bells" has been on commercials. Like I think it was
Okay.
also in Home Alone back in the day.
Okay.
But yeah, it was good. Really good
And
music.
packed.
Packed house, not as empty seat in sight.
I'll be darned.
And I was smack dab in the middle of a row. And I had to chug wine to make sure that I didn't upset anybody.
What kind of food did they have there?
Like cookies and popcorn. I'm like,
Is
why
that-
everybody have popcorn? It's gonna take forever to eat popcorn. Just thoroughly confused still.
Well, that's good. That's a good experience for you.
But cool venue. I like the Lead Center. It's nice.
I can tell you I'm age 55, and I can tell you I've never chugged wine. And I can't even remember the last time I drank wine. Probably it could be when I was in my teens. I mean, I just don't drink it. So I can't imagine chugging it. What are people saying about
This is
what are
from
people
Dan.
saying
Dan-
about you?
Dan says, Jake, going bald and going to Mannheim Steamroller. Are you 70 years old? Yeah, maybe I am.
Okay, what was the what would you say the age range was?
Older.
there? That's what I
Older.
would say. Yeah,
Older.
Yeah.
My parents are 60, and they fit right in probably the
is that right?
typical age there.
Yeah.
Well, that's the group. That's the age that really they
That's-
started in 1984. Is this when Mannheim started? So
I can kind of remember that.
they're about 23 at that point.
Okay.
Back in college, out of college, and so that was a big thing back then.
Mannheim. How many what would you guess? How many band members is it? Like how many members of this?
Oh, well, there was they introduced 7 people, then they had an orchestra. They say their names of like probably 10, so about 17, 18 people total.
okay.
It was fun though.
Yeah.
Good time, except I had to chug wine and I couldn't bring it to the auditorium. Other than that, it was fun. So thank you for
All
listening
right.
to
So
my
that
story.
that lasted from 7 to
7:30 is when it started.
7:30
to about 9. They had one song encore. It's about 9:40,
Okay.
9:45.
All right, we'll talk more about that as the show
Yeah, we
goes
will.
on. I'll have questions.
Thank you. Please remember
Yes,
those.
that was good, and I appreciate the report.
Yeah, there's your report there. There's also some news for Nebraska football. It appears.
Yeah.
I don't think, is it official yet, or is it still? Football Scoop believes it's official.
Well, it
But
sounds like
the-
even the guys around here
So
are saying it looks like he's gone.
okay, so we
We're
talked
talking about 22.
Yes, so we this offseason we were talking about how Nebraska has to replace 4 offensive coaches, but the question I had was, all right, we know that was a problem, but defensively, you liked what you saw. Can you keep everybody around with the coaching staff? And up until yesterday, it seemed like we were on the right path. And then the new Oregon coach,
Dan Lanning.
Dan Lanning, who was the former Georgia defensive coordinator, is now poaching Tony Tuioti, Nebraska's defensive line coach, to go be the D-line coach at Oregon.
Yes. And I mean, I just want to, I guess what we need to do is just engage in plain talk, right?
Okay.
I mean, if you're a Nebraska staff member right now, well, let's just take this case and not broaden it. Tony Tuioti, he's in a kind of everybody at Nebraska is in a tough spot right now, right? If you're a coach, a college football coach, oftentimes what you're doing is just looking at the best situation possible for your family. All right. Well, he's going to get 3 years or 4 years
Right.
with Dan Lanning, probably, right? Versus one more here. And that's how, if I had, now I don't know Tony, I don't know exactly how many kids he has, but it's in the 6 range.
Yeah, it's 6 or 7,
yeah.
something like that.
So you're thinking about that a lot, right?
I think it's 7. I think
Okay.
it's 7 kids.
Yeah. You're thinking about that a lot. And you're looking at you're looking at the contract. You're looking at, okay, I got one more year at Nebraska. Maybe. Well, you got one for sure. Maybe more than that, but it's maybe. At Oregon's a guarantee. So seems like a no-brainer. He's been at Cal.
Mm-hmm. That was the Pac-12.
Yeah, he knows the Pac-12. And it's a tough one. This is a tough one. And I'm glad you mentioned what you did about the possibility of losing defensive coaches. But I mean, this is a big one. and and they could lose another one probably. I don't know anything though. I'm not saying I'm not insinuating that I know.
What we do know is that Travis Fisher has been over the past couple years has been pursued by other places.
That you wonder about that one.
That's the one you're going to always say, well, until he's not here anymore, that's the guy you're going to be concerned is gone.
Right. So now what you
still
wonder
here
is this: what's this open up a? I mean, if this is happening, okay. I mean, it's pretty clear to me it's happening. Tony Tuioti to Oregon.
Yeah. It's not official yet, but it's pretty much done.
Now, what does this pave the way for is the question. Does it pave the way for a special teams coach to be I don't know how I still don't know how he's going to configure this.
Well,
right?
I think people would ask, does it make sense to put Mike Dawson back at defensive line coach at this point? That's the guy who was there obviously before he went to the NFL, came back to be outside linebackers coach.
Yeah, could he coach outside linebackers and defensive? It's a big room. It'd be a big.
It's room. That's a big job.
Mm-hmm. But they're married. I mean, think about it. Think about it. They don't even really play a 3-4. They play a 4-3 basically. I mean, they're jumping in and out, right?
Yeah.
And oftentimes it's an even look now. So that OLB tag's kind of a misnomer anyway. Yeah, you could definitely do that. You could make Dawson, but you got to take the special teams tag off of him in that event because that's too much.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what you do. Would that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
You still have this running back issue.
Yep, you don't have a running backs coach. Right. You can actually make a full-time coach.
Yeah, I wonder if
with the numbers right now.
Yeah. I wonder if Trev Alberts, when he was talking on Husker Sports Nightly the other day, was taking into account when he said Scott had a plan to fill out the rest of his staff, and he likes the plan and it just has a couple details to finish up. I wonder if he was taking into account Tuioti going to Oregon. I don't know. I mean, it's not something I've been locked in on. I didn't know until last night this was happening, honestly. So I don't know.
This was like late last night.
And by the way, I don't want to react like there's alarm. This is not surprising at all, right? You would say you're not surprised.
No, Tony Tuioti has been a very important part of the staff.
Right. I would say I'm not surprised, but there's a level of concern. I mean, this is going to be 5 new staff members, right? 5 new staff members.
And again, you expected that offensively to have some changing up there, but defensively, although you may have expected some guys to leave on their own, you were hoping that entire staff would stick around because you liked what they did this year collectively. Everybody. Like it was all those guys, if you went one by one for the defensive staff, would say, yeah, did his job. Like you're happy with that.
Pretty happy.
Which is uncommon, I think, when you're 3-9 to have that kind of cohesion in terms of your support for all those guys.
Yeah, the discussion is so odd, but you're right. You're generally right. I don't know. They didn't hold up against the run that well late in the season. You would agree with that,
yeah,
right?
But they weren't like atrocious. It wasn't it wasn't like Wisconsin 2014 level.
Well, Wisconsin, yeah, it was against Wisconsin. It was
not 408 yards.
No, not 4. No,
I said not 2014 Wisconsin or
right.
Melvin Gordon.
Okay,
that kind of Wisconsin. Yeah, it wasn't great against Braylon Allen. Of course, he had some long runs that hurt and that helped him win the game.
He averaged 10 a carry. I mean,
but it wasn't 400 yards. I know, but like there's a certain like level when you talk about Wisconsin that he is going Wisconsin on Nebraska.
I hear you.
And 400 yards will always be that top ledger there.
Okay. Well, Tony did a good job here, and I am talking about him in the past tense a little bit. And in this, maybe it explains why Damian Daniels moved on and why DeAndre Thomas looks like he's moving on. Maybe they knew. Maybe they had an idea this was coming, or it could be it just popped up. But they're going to have a lot of work to do up front. I mean, you wonder about guys like Jordan Riley, what they got to start getting stuff out of Jordan Riley and Nash Hutmacher. They had those freshmen come in, Marquise Black, and I don't know that they got to. I don't know. I don't want to act like the sky's falling, but 5 new staff members, Jake.
Well, again, we knew offensively it was going to be probably a fresh start there.
All right, sky's not
with
falling.
a new quarterback.
Sky's not
which
falling.
we don't know who the quarterback is. It might be on the roster right now when Smothers or Harburg.
Again, expected, not surprised, but still concerned. I mean, that's the way. That's what it is. It's kind of like when I saw it, I was like, oh, I'm not surprised at all, but oh boy, here we go. Here we go.
Here's a question that JJ asks. I think this will be asked by several people.
All right.
When you talk about, okay, going forward, how do you address this for Nebraska? We mentioned, is it possible that Dawson goes to defensive line coach? JJ says, can Barrett Ruud take both inside and outside linebackers?
Yes, but that would be a gigantic room. It's complicated by the fact that they don't really play a 3-4 all the time. That you got to keep that in mind. They're more often, I would say, an even front now. So I don't know how they're going to structure it. I don't, Jake. I don't want to even. It's hard for me to even speculate too much on that.
Here's a good text from Kent regarding your analogy of Barry Seal here. Is it Seals or Seal, by the way?
It's Barry Seal.
No,
not Seal.
Barry Seal.
Yeah, just Seal.
All right. Kent says, Sip, does this make the airplane heavier or the trees taller?
It does both. It does both. It makes
you're gonna definitely clip some trees now.
Yeah.
More branches now.
Yeah, and that scene, it's really funny. Barry Seal walks up to his plane, and the cartel has put this guard in the front seat of someone to guard the drugs. And the guy's like 5'10", 300. and Barry says, no, this guy has got to go. No, this isn't going to work. And he has to push him out. This is like the guy's still in the plane. No, the plane is heavier now. The trees you're going to hit those trees. It's just a question of, are you just going to graze them or are you going into them? I mean, that's the question. Are you going to graze them or go into them? You saw the scene. I showed it to you. I
saw the scene, yeah. I know exactly. I've got a perfect visualization.
Yeah, Barry's going, come on, baby.
Clipping branches on the way up.
No, listen, they're in a situation where they got to win immediately. And the more kind of challenges you add into the equation, the harder it gets.
Okay,
this is a challenge. Okay,
here's a good point from Spencer here. Right?
Yeah, we need to hear the text.
Spencer says, "Good morning, Sip and Jake."
Hello, Spencer.
Sipple, the offensive line room is large, and they only have one coach. Linebackers are not as large of a group as that.
Barrett had, I mean, you can count them like 13 or 14 guys in his room, in the inside linebackers room. Now you're going to add, you have 28. You can do it. I mean, you can do it, but I don't know. There's a reason why they had it the way they did. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, so defensive linemen that you're talking about, young guys, okay, before you get to the text line. We haven't heard much from a guy like Jalen Weaver. He's a true freshman. You're looking like we haven't heard much from Mosiah Newsom, who's been in the program 2 or 3 years.
2 years, I believe.
Yeah. Raquan Buckley, a redshirt freshman. We haven't heard much from him. Now Nash Hutmacher, I think he's got possibility to start. Jordan Riley, he'll be a senior. Haven't heard much from Tate Wildeman. Haven't heard much from him. I mentioned Marquise Black. He's a redshirt freshman. Are they going to get DeAndre Thomas back? I don't think so, Jake. I don't think you're going to get DeAndre Thomas back. It'd be great if you could. But now the dudes, you really got to get going at a high level. The new coach is Casey Rogers.
Casey Rogers, absolutely.
Yeah, Ty Robinson.
Yep, both those guys need them.
They need
to be very good.
See, when I was assessing the defense right after the season, I was counting on DeAndre Thomas being back and perhaps Damian Daniels. Now you lose both of those and your D-line coach. Yeah, that's a hit. God, that's a hit.
You mentioned
you got to have one of those young guys: Buckley, Newsom, Weaver, Marquise Black.
Well, you need Hutmacher to be ready.
A war daddy.
He's got to take
he's
over.
He's got to be
Damian.
a war daddy. Yeah, he's got to be a war daddy.
He's got to be ready. We talk about, everyone always talks about how strong he is and how much of an ox that he is in the weight room and how he dominated in South Dakota. This is big boy football now. You're talking about Big Ten.
Absolutely.
And I don't think he was bad when he played this year in his limit. He played some snaps this season, of course, but he's got to be ready to take that thing on by himself.
Yeah, they could really use someone like Colton Feast to really to develop into something surprising. I mean, Jake, man. Yeah. What are people saying?
This is where somebody's at right now with like just beaten down. Someone says, I think this is a positive that Oregon is poaching a staff member from a 3-9 team.
Yeah.
We have guys that people want.
Well, definitely. You do. I mean, you do have.
How sad is that, though? That you can view that as like a positive. Like, hey, we had somebody that Oregon actually wanted. I guess he was good.
I say it all the time. We're in a fix. This is not surprising. If you're Tony Tuioti, you're looking around, right? If you're Fisher, you're looking around.
Anybody. If you're Shenander, you might be looking around.
All this thing about Trev gave him great support. Yeah, he gave him a year. I mean, great.
He gave him a year.
I don't quite go down that road. That whole, he's getting so much support. I don't go down that road. Now, I know what people are going to come back at me with. Well, he's lucky he got a year. Well, I guess, yeah, I obviously, but Scott's not in a great situation. I mean, he's put himself in that situation. Make no mistake about that. But this should not be surprising. And if the next one's Fisher, that should not be surprising.
No.
And if the next one's Austin, that should not be surprising. Hell, Barrett Root. Now, Barrett, as an alum, is probably a little. And I don't think Barrett's not out looking for jobs. Barrett played in the NFL for a long time. He's not chasing contracts and all that. He doesn't have 6-7 kids. So his situation's different. I don't think Barrett is in a situation, I don't pretend to know Barrett that well, or I know Barrett pretty well actually, but not his situation that way. I don't think he would be out looking, I think he'd just be content to try to make it work here. Again though, Tuioti's situation, much different. He's got to think about his future.
Yeah, if
he's got 3 more years probably locked in.
If you're just tuning in, it appears Tony Tuioti is going to be moving on from Nebraska to Oregon to join Dan Lanning's staff out there.
Yeah, fresh start, fresh contract.
Again, like you said before, he came to Nebraska from Cal, so he knows the West Coast, the Pac-12.
Yeah.
He's familiar with the area.
He is. He doesn't have deep Pac-12 roots. It's interesting.
But he did come from
there. Yeah, he did. He had a couple years at Cal. He was with the Cleveland Browns. I mean, he's been around a little bit. He had a long coaching stint at Hawaii. Played at Hawaii. I guess that's kind of out there, but it's not like he has deep Pac-12 roots. But again, not surprising.
But that's somebody that leaving here, like you can say, did a good job. Like that's somebody.
I'd say so. Yeah.
Like I think universally for Nebraska fans, they would say, "Hey, Tuioti was a good hire."
Oh yeah, you don't want to lose him.
He recruited well, and I thought he developed pretty well too.
Yeah, he's a loss.
Yep.
You're at the defensive side. Anybody on the defensive side's a loss right now, right?
Yep. So
it's strange though, 3-9. Now that's why these conversations are complicated.
Didn't feel like they were the problem in 3-9. Again, 3-9. They obviously they allowed the points to make it happen.
I'm telling you though, I'm surprised I'm not hearing from certain people that would chime in and say, "Oh yeah, right, they were great." They didn't. There's times, Jake. I mean, think about Purdue. They didn't get stops against Purdue. They didn't.
No,
let's be real about this.
You can't be perfect every game. They looked good against Ohio State. Now they had a lot of yards, but they didn't allow big points. 26 points to Ohio State.
True. But then I would counter with Michigan. Late in the Michigan game, they couldn't get stops. Just don't try to explain
Michigan is also a playoff team right now.
Yeah.
They're a good team. We'll talk about this and more with Sean Callahan next. An early break on the ticket.
Hey, sports fans. Rico here with HIS Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. Carfax recently awarded us as a top-rated auto service center for 2020, and Lincoln Choice Awards voted us as the 2021 top independent auto repair center. Call us at 402-488-8934 for superior service bumper to bumper. Mention this ad and get 7% off. Doesn't get any better than that. Rico for his Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com. Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy and healthy Christmas and New Year's celebration. We are thankful for time with family and friends this holiday season and wish everyone a great end to 2021 as we head into 2022. This important message comes to you from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialist here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services on the air because they care. You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate.
Sartor Heyman Jewelers says let it snow because a white New Year's Eve could mean free jewelry. Shop from November 24th to December 24th, and if it snows 3 inches or more on New Year's Eve, your purchase is free. Holiday savings throughout the store. 36 months interest-free financing with approved credit. And remember, shop from November 24th to December 24th, and if it snows 3 inches or more on New Year's Eve, your purchase is free. Sartor Heyman Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition since 1905.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Expect sunny skies and mild temperatures as we'll top out at around 52. Winds out of the southwest at around 10. Overnight, mainly clear, a low dropping down to around 30. We will continue our climb in temps as we head into our Thursday with an afternoon high approaching 55. And by Christmas Eve, highs could be into the 60s. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
At Buffalo Wings and Rings, they've crafted a new league of superior chicken sandwiches. Meet the Ringers. It's premium, house-made, beer-battered, fried chicken served buffalo, Korean, or MVP style. Head to Buffalo Wings and Rings Lincoln and raise a glass to superior chicken. 2 locations at 68th and O and at 40th and Old Cheney. Buffalo Wings and Rings.
This
Anybody who knows me knows I was cocky out of the womb.
is Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is that time on a Wednesday where we talk to Husker Online Sean Callahan. Sean, good morning. It appears that Tony Tuioti is heading to Oregon from Nebraska staff, leaving as the defensive line coach. I'm curious, if you are Nebraska and you're Scott Frost, where do you go from here with him departing?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all but a done deal. I talked to 2 different people last night, and it's done. I think we might hear from the Oregon end as early as today or before Christmas. But I think it now maybe makes sense what Scott Frost has been kind of waiting for on his staff. And, the way I can see this thing shaping out, Mike Dawson would take over the defensive line. Bill Bush would be involved with outside linebackers and special teams. And then at that point, he could hire a running backs coach. So, to me, that probably makes the most sense. Mike Dawson's coach defensive line. That defense, that outside, and you think about the outside linebacker position, Sip.
Yes.
It's really more of a defensive lineman. I mean, Garrett Nelson and those guys play like a defensive lineman. Darius Payne,
Caleb Tanner.
And then that nickel position, Eric Chenander coached that group already. So he took, the JoJo Dolman group of players and had them in his, and ran his own room with that group. So it makes a lot of sense to me that Dawson would be the down lineman group. And I don't know if Bush would necessarily help with OLBs. He could, but then that makes, I think it really paves the way for the special teams thing with him potentially helping on defense as well.
Oh man, yeah. Hey, Sean, here, I'll tell you where else it makes sense. Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com. Think about it. Dawson and Bush work together this year a lot, and I know they have a good relationship. So that would make complete sense to marry up marry up the outside linebackers in the defensive line, and Bush could help. I mean, Bush could help with the
and Chenander would continue to take the nickels.
Yeah. And now you'd have to hire a running backs coach, right?
Does it? I mean, let's be honest. Like, if it would have went forward as is,
okay,
it would have been pretty interesting to make Sean Beckton or somebody have to coach running backs or have a graduate assistant or whoever. I mean, that would have felt a little bit, awkward. It just wouldn't have felt like you had a plan there. I think this kind of maybe helps move things around to get Bill Bush on the staff, who's an excellent recruiter, and figure it out with him. And people are saying, well, don't you need a guy that's fully dedicated to only special teams? What I'd say back is Bill Bush has already done the hard part. He's gotten the kicker and the punter. And to me, that's been as big of a problem with special teams as anything. If you can just have a guy punt at 50 yards and make 40-yard field goals, a lot of the special teams things would look a lot better right now. And obviously the punt return situation needs to be shored up. But some of it they've already addressed with what they need to get figured out on special teams. I'm not so necessarily worried about coverage units as much as I was about the kicker and the punter.
Geez, Sean, think about something. Think about this. Think about how fortunate Nebraska is to have Bill Bush sitting there right now. I mean, you have a veteran coach just sitting in your building that you can pull out of the bullpen and make him a starter, right?
Right.
I mean, that is a luxury. That is
Tony
really
Tuioti made $400,000. I mean, Bill Bush, that's about what his pay will be. So, I mean, it all kind of puzzles together. And Trev even hinted on the radio. There's still a couple things Frost is waiting on. And I think now, I mean, I have to think Tony Tuiotti's a stand-up guy. I don't think he just let this break on football scoop. I'm sure Coach Frost has known about this for a little bit.
DucksUnlimited.com. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, how do you think, in terms of Tuioti and his time in Nebraska, Sean, how did you assess it? Did you think he did a great job? What do you think in terms of his time in Nebraska? How would you grade his tenure here?
Yeah, you think about it, there hasn't been a lot of shakeup on this defensive staff. Tony Tuioti replaced Mike Dawson after the 2018 season. Then Mike Dawson came back and replaced Jovan DeWitt. So there really is only one guy that's come in this staff and out from the original group, and it's Jovan DeWitt. And, it's the same guys, and Tuiotti's kind of the guy that came in. And I thought he did a really good job, the development of some of these players. I thought, you look at Ty Robinson and Casey Rogers. I mean, it's a physical group. I mean, the physicality of that defensive line has really, really gotten better over time. But, they've got material now. So, and Mike Dawson, if he does move in that role, he's going to be very familiar with the group. So I think they're well on their way. And we'll see. I mean, I think the only thing you wonder, Tuioti didn't bring a lot of his own recruits in. Now this year you got Brody Tagaloa, but a lot of the guys that were on this roster were from other parts of his recruiting area. So you often wondered his recruiting strengths, finding the Polynesian players. That might have played a factor in his decision to want to leave Nebraska, because it is hard to get Polynesian players to Lincoln. There's just not much of a Polynesian community here, and I'm sure at a place like Oregon, which has got a strong history of recruiting Polynesian players, is going to probably fit his strengths as a coach and recruiter maybe a little bit better.
It's amazing, that conversation, Sean, trying to get Polynesian players, trying to get more of them on the roster. Sean, that goes back to the Solich era. I mean, it does.
My former coworker, you remember Roz, right? Dwayne Roz, the late Dwayne Roz introduced
Of course I remember. Yeah, of course I remember Roz.
And he used to always talk about how, like, this is early recruiting day. We're talking like Jake was at Beatrice Elementary School days.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Sorry, Jake, old guy talk here.
That's fine.
He said that these schools like Oregon would hire, like, they would have like Mormon bishops that they'd have on campus. I mean, and create like a religious community and cultural community to attract the Polynesian players. And in Oregon went the extra mile, and they've built for the last 20 years. They've built a huge tradition of recruiting Polynesian players.
Sean Callahan joins us from HuskerOnline.com. Sean, I don't want to ask just open-ended questions all the time, but where are we at with the quarterback situation as it relates to the portal?
Well, I mean, the Cliff Notes version, they wanted Haener at Fresno State. He's staying.
Haener.
He can't get a waiver potentially to transfer twice. It's a one-time transfer rule.
Okay.
Miles Brennan is staying at LSU because they've given him a pretty good indication that he could start this year for LSU. So it went on to Keaton Slovis, and he is going to go to Pitt, as we now know. They announced it publicly yesterday, and that's kind of surprising. Nebraska was definitely interested in Slovis. They had talks with Slovis. So I don't know where that one went wrong, especially when Mark Whipple came to Nebraska from Pitt at that point. So where are we at now? Casey Thompson, Chubba Purdy, the Texas A&M quarterback's a guy to watch. It's very much in flux, and they've got a month still. I mean, January 18th is the first day of classes, so it's not like this has to be shored up by this week. But it's time's taken.
Joined by Sean Callahan. Sean, yesterday the back freshman of the year, Jay Ducker, who's from Bellevue West, a running back, put his name into the portal. He is from Bellevue West, with the 2019 Gatorade Player of the Year in the state. Any chance Nebraska can get him to Lincoln?
Well, it's a matter if they have a spot for him and they want him. He had a good year at Northern Illinois. He came into the year essentially their second or third running back. They had the nation's third leading rusher returning, and he got hurt. So Ducker stepped in, and they had a very good offensive line. So a lot of what he did was a product of the line. Only scored 3 touchdowns on a 1,200-yard season. So it tells you he kind of took what was there. The guy that he replaced had 4 60-yard runs early in the year.
Okay.
So it just makes you want, is he a fit at the Big Ten level where the elite run defenses of college football live? And that's where the staff makes their money. They've got to decide that. They have to decide, can he beat out Ramir Johnson? Can he beat out Gabe Ervin? Because I think those guys would be really good running backs in the MAC too. And I think it's a different level of competition. So that's what the staff has to decide. Like what he did there, would that translate to the highest level of run defense in college football?
What you really got to look at is why is he transferring? I mean, Sean, I think based on what I've heard, there's no guarantee he was going to start at Northern Illinois. So I don't know about this whole thing of looking at him.
Going to be back.
Yeah, the star's going to be back.
Injuries.
Yeah, why look at him as the answer at Nebraska when he wasn't even the answer at Northern Illinois?
He did what he was supposed to do. Had a really, really good year. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But I think he'll go Power 5. It's just, I think there's more to this one. That you want to make sure you know the whole story before you jump in on a guy like on the running back position, especially.
Yeah, he's leaving for a reason, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think he wants to go Power 5, but yeah, to me, there's no guarantee he's got the job
at Northern
because of some of the injuries and stuff that happened. And they have a good team. They have a really good team this year.
Sean, always great stuff. Thanks for the time, and have a Merry Christmas, man. We'll talk to you next week.
Hey, Merry Christmas to you guys too. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you,
Husker
Sean.
Online, Sean Callahan.
Okay, so Sean just comes in and answers the big question. And I fumbled in the first segment. I didn't know what they're doing staff wise. I fumbled.
It's on the ground still.
Yeah, not good ball control by me. And Sean answers the question. And it's pretty easy. You make Dawson the D-line coach.
We thought we could do that in the first segment, possibly.
A little bit. I did mention that, I guess, but not as strongly as Sean did. And then just hire Bush as a special teams coordinator and maybe have him help out Dawson. And those guys they have a good relationship already, having worked together on special teams. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. Now, what's the running back situation look like? I was always a little bit leery of this kind of discussion about, well, you can have the running backs marry into the tight ends and have them in the tight end room with Sean Beckton, the veteran coach. But on the field, there'll be a GA coaching them. This is Nebraska, okay? This is Nebraska that has a incredible running back tradition, okay? Not of late, but an incredible. It was running back you for a while, okay? I don't know if I want a GA coach in that. I mean, Frank Solich was maybe the best running backs coach in the nation at one time. Okay. And they were churning out all conference players seemingly every year in the 80s, going back to the 70s, Jake. 70s, 80s, 90s, all the great backs, guys you forget about that were so good. They're so good. There's great backs like Kenny Clark you forget about, like Calvin Jones you kind of forget about. Keith in zone Jones, you kind of forget about. Those guys were good, Sean, Jake.
Freudian slip.
So we'll see on all that. But you know what? The way Sean portrayed that situation, not so bad. It's okay. Just I don't want too much more of it.
Yeah, there's no guarantee.
Travis, stay here.
Yeah, Travis Fisher, just stay put, man.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, you're gonna get it going.
The grass is not greener on the other side, Travis.
Not
The
necessarily.
grass is green right here. Come on, keep planting.
Yeah, keep planting.
Keep growing it.
Yeah, keep planting.
Song of the day and the mailbag is up next on Early Break on the Ticket.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Expect sunny skies and mild temperatures as we'll top out at around 52. Winds out of the southwest at around 10. Overnight, mainly clear, a low dropping down to around 30. We will continue our climb in temps as we head into our Thursday with an afternoon high approaching 55. And by Christmas Eve, highs could be into the 60s. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
Hey, sports fans, Rico here with HIS Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. Carfax recently awarded us as a top-rated auto service center for 2020, and Lincoln Choice Awards voted us as the 2021 top independent auto repair center. Call us at 402-488-8934 for superior service bumper to bumper. Mention this ad and get 7% off. Doesn't get any better than that. Rico for his Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate.
At Buffalo Wings and Rings, they've crafted a new league of superior chicken sandwiches. Meet The Ringers. It's premium, house-made, beer-battered fried chicken served buffalo, Korean, or MVP style. Head to Buffalo Wings and Rings Lincoln and raise a glass to superior chicken. 2 locations at 68th and O and at 40th and Old Cheney. Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at Wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
Beatrice Bakery has been serving Nebraska with one-of-a-kind grandma's fruitcake since 1964. You already know that, but did you know they offer way more than that? You've got to try their line of liqueur cakes, like the strawberry daiquiri cake or the vanilla rum cake. Or what about their breakfast breads, the banana nut bread, or their various streusel coffee cakes? Whatever the occasion, Beatrice Bakery has something for you. Oh yeah, and grandma's fruitcake? It's still pretty darn good. Beatrice Bakery, located in downtown Beatrice, or always online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
You love to bash his sports takes.
Now, will you feel like an idiot if you're
No,
a big tough?
never feel like an
If
idiot.
you're a big tough guy this morning,
But you really love to voice your displeasure for his music choices.
he stumbled on an issue that I did not think would generate this much passion and discussion.
It's time for Jake's questionable song of the day on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
And so this is Christmas. I hope you had fun. The near and the dear ones. The old and the young. A very Merry Christmas. And a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one without any fear. So this is Christmas.
All right, your song of the day is Happy Christmas by Shinedown. 464-568-51 is bad. 10 is good. Text your rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers song of the day.
The road is so long. And so happy Christmas.
All right, so you're hearing other sounds in the background. I was recording that yesterday during a different show. I forgot to turn on that music, apparently. There's sounds. But again, you could hear the song of the day.
Yeah.
It was Shinedown's Happy Christmas there. 464-568-51 is bad. 10 is good. Text your rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers song of the day.
I liked it.
I apologize for the other audio you heard.
Yeah, I liked it. So
Not perfect.
Shinedown took a run at that song. I like the one by John Lennon.
Well, of course, that's the original one.
Oh,
the
well,
original's
okay.
usually the most popular. I went for the more rock version.
Yeah, Shinedown's always quality. I thought that I like that Christmas song, that particular Christmas song. Like it mostly by John Lennon, but that's good. Shinedown is Shinedown still doing stuff?
Yeah, they actually were just in Lincoln this summer.
Man.
On tour.
They were in that genre, kind of that emo genre, weren't they? Wouldn't you say that? Shinedown kind of emo?
Are they emo? Yeah, they're emo-ish.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, they're definitely emo.
Harrison's helping us here.
Uh-huh.
Did you acknowledge Harrison today?
Yeah, I think I did. Well, if I didn't, shout out to Harrison. Thank you for being here.
Okay. I like that one. I did. Even the sounds in my ear, I just thought it was part of the song. I thought maybe they're in a mall or something. And there's
they could have been. Sure, let's go with that. That's the problem there. You heard that in a mall.
They're singing in a mall. And there's background.
There's kids there just
people.
Yeah, that's what happened.
They're
That's
singing
exactly what happened
from
there.
a coffee shop in a
Yes.
mall.
Yeah, you just hear ambiance behind them.
All right, let's go with that. That is an 8-7. That's a good song. I like that part. I do like that Christmas
Well,
song.
you gave that an 8-7?
Yeah, I like it. I like that song.
What's the John Lennon version for you?
I'd say like a 9.5. When I hear the John Lennon song, I always like it.
Here's the deal. We got to guess Harrison's score, and I think he might be below a 1. Just be very frank with you. He will not be a 0. He's never given a song a 0 before.
Why do you say that, though?
I don't think, well, he was turned off by the double audio in there also, which I think affects the score, which was a mistake. Not perfect. They make mistakes.
They weren't in a mall.
Yes, they were not in the mall. We can pretend they were. Yeah. So here's my prediction for Harrison. I'm going to 0.7 is what he's going to say. Yeah,
no
he's
way.
Going below.
He has
a
some
1.
Christmas spirit.
He's going below a 1.
We did establish yesterday he might be the Scrooge.
Yeah, no, the Scrooge or the Grinch, one of the two.
Yeah. No, he gave that a 4.3.
No way. It's way too high.
4.3, 4.3, 4.6.
No, what?
Yeah.
I was way up. 4.6.
Yeah, he's not that much of a Scrooge.
Here's some ratings here coming in before we get to the mailbag. And these are pretty low, but they're all also a little bit all over the place.
Are they low?
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Scott says a really bad 1.2. Harper 8. Harper's dad a 7. So that's good.
Okay.
That's
Hi,
good.
Harper. So this is a son, father.
I think it's a daughter and father.
Oh, okay.
Harper's a girl.
Daughter, father that listen together. I like it. I like it.
Mike Schaefer has texted in.
Schaefer. Hello, Schaefer.
You want to guess what his
What
score?
is Schaefer doing up?
He's moving into his new house right now. He's moving his old stuff into his new
This
place.
is not Schaefer Day either,
No,
is it?
tomorrow is Schaefer Day.
Schaefer. Hello. Good morning,
Yeah, hey,
Schaefer.
Schaefer.
Hi, Slider.
Hi,
Sit.
Slider.
Sit.
Sit, Slider. Put down that toy. You want to guess Schaefer's score?
Yeah. Why is he weighing in on this? This is interesting. Schaefer, I'm just going to go safe. He gave it a 7.
No, a safe would be a 0, which he gave it. 0 out of 10.
He didn't like the background noise.
Probably did. Yeah, if I didn't like the mall music afterwards.
No, not mall music. They are
The
in a
mall
mall.
sounds.
Yeah.
The mall sounds.
God, the malls were packed last night.
Leroy 5.5. Tanner says, boom, a 10.
Boom.
CJ says 0, worst ever. Worst ever.
Come on.
Jennifer says 5.
Oh, Jennifer gave it a 5. She's always over 7.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Brian T says, normally I like this song. Not so much this version. The song is an 8.5. This version gets a 3.
Wow. I thought the version was fine.
Reality says, yikes, Jake. That's bad. Rod 7.5. Eric says, I love Shinedown. I hate you for playing that. Damn you, Jake. 0.0. These are some good. I like the descriptions so far.
I do too.
I got more. I'm not done yet.
All right, we'll keep going.
Ohio Husker says 7.2. Good song. Corey. Yes, our Corey. 0. Here's his reasoning. Absolutely horrific. Sounds like a bunch of teenagers that just got their instruments for Christmas. Shouldn't exist.
I think Corey would say I need to be more discerning.
Yeah, I'm actually shocked you went 8.7 there.
It didn't sound that bad to me.
Samuel, Shinedown ruined a classic, 2.9.
No boy.
Kent says 8.8. Terry, 9. Shinedown rocks.
See, it's interesting how people's tastes vary, isn't it? Isn't it?
And here's our last one before we move on to the mailbag.
Okay.
Fat Phil says, I just assumed the background noise was the crowd of the Drury Inn for that one.
Just not
in St.
Just
Joe's.
not particularly engaged at all in Shinedown.
Talking. Just talking throughout the performance in the mall.
Milling around the lobby. Hey, there's a band in the corner.
Shut up back there.
There's a band in the corner. That's Shinedown.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Go check them out.
Wouldn't that be awesome if you went to the Drury Inn and Shinedown
Shinedown's just there in the,
was playing in a
the
banquet
corner.
room? There's kind of a ruckus in the banquet room. That's Shinedown there playing Christmas music.
Yeah.
There's some cookies in there if you want.
Go grab a cookie and leave if you need. Let's get to the mailbag. Okay, this is from Michael. Michael says, what is your least favorite Christmas tradition?
You go first.
You may have already ended all yours, probably. I'm
Yeah.
gonna guess.
No, I don't
when you
know.
celebrated it normally.
You're okay. Keep in mind, for many, many years, I had to do this. You're going to get mad when I say it. I was on bull trips.
I understand that.
Yeah, I was on many years. It wasn't Christmas wasn't even a thing for me, and I kind of I'm serious. Well, think about it. For 20 years plus, I was always on the road. It wasn't even. I didn't even think about Christmas very much because it was. Well, we're going to be on a bull trip. So
I have an answer for this.
Your favorite?
No, my least.
Your
my
least favorite.
Yes, very
Okay.
opposite of favorite. I like Christmas, big fan of it. But my family has this dish on Christmas morning called Harlem toast.
Yeah, you've talked about this. Go
and
ahead.
it is just horrifying. It's like a combination of like ketchup, and eggs, and something like maybe cream cheese in there too.
Okay.
And it looks like puke.
Your
And
mom is not going to be pleased.
No, they know I've never liked this dish, but it's like a family tradition on my dad's side. My whole dad's side likes the stuff.
Harlem toast.
They devour it, and they eat it one time a year, just this one day, Christmas Day, and it just looks nasty. I just say, give me eggs. I don't need the ketchup, cream cheese.
Can you describe it a little bit more? Ketchup, cream cheese, eggs.
Yeah, I don't know what else is in it.
Okay.
I'll ask my mom what the recipe is.
I wonder if they put any hot sauce.
I'll bring. I told you before I didn't do it. I'll have her give me like a dish to bring in,
Yeah.
so you can taste the
I
flavor.
wonder if they put some hot sauce in there. Hot sauce can take care of a lot of problems.
I think there's hot sauce in it.
I don't. Do I have a least? All right. Well, I'm just going to say it because we are strangely real on this show.
We are.
right?
Yeah, we are.
Harrison. I always kind of gauge Harrison because Harrison's very level-headed. I'm not big on adults exchanging gifts on Christmas. It's a kid. I always think of Christmas as a kid holiday, not an adult holiday. Thoughts? Like birthdays.
I get it.
Birthdays and Christmas to me, that's for kids. I don't need gifts. If I want something, I go buy it.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't rely on other people.
I'm not totally against that.
This is
train
a
of thought.
kids holiday.
How about if you get like one gift from somebody? One.
I guess.
Not like 4 or 5. Just one gift.
Yeah,
you know?
that's fine. Yeah, I'm a little bit.
But
of a
it is more for kids. Yeah. for
Yeah,
gift
isn't this
presents.
a kid's holiday?
It's everybody's holiday.
Yeah.
They get to enjoy the presents more.
I'm not sitting on Santa's lap though.
I bet.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the mall today and see you sitting on Santa's lap there.
Just saying.
Dave wants to know: has Sipple ever watched Christmas Vacation?
No. I've heard about it.
Chevy Chase.
Yeah, I've heard about
Cousin
it.
Eddie.
Yeah, Office Christmas Party is the one I
Never
go to.
You've never seen Christmas Vacation?
No, I've heard about it though. I've never
Have you
watched
seen
it.
A Christmas Story?
Yes, back in the day,
Okay.
and I liked it. I thought that was excellent.
I think you might like Christmas Vacation.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. I know you hate comedy and laughing, but
Yeah, I don't like anything fun
anything
or
leisurely.
happy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Must be serious and probably.
there needs to be some. No, I'm not going to say it. I like gritty movies. Okay, that's what I like. That's just what I like.
We're out of time as
Oh,
usual.
we're out of time.
I get too long on song of the day, but I want to get people's description of their song rating.
I'm really interested in this Harlem toast.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring a dish. A little bit of dish. You can taste the flavor of it.
Thank you.
And you got to put it on bread. You don't just eat it by itself.
Right.
Bread with egg, and then.
What if
that's
you could put it
the
on a
sauce.
biscuit?
It doesn't
you
matter.
put it on
no,
a biscuit?
it doesn't matter what it's on. I don't like the flavor of the sauce.
Maybe you'd like it better if it were on a biscuit.
I don't think so.
A warm biscuit.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. Top of the hour is next on Early Break in the Ticket.
At Buffalo Wings and Rings, they've crafted a new league of superior chicken sandwiches. Meet the Ringers. It's premium, house-made, beer-battered fried chicken served buffalo, Korean, or MVP style. Head to Buffalo Wings and Rings Lincoln and raise a glass to superior chicken. 2 locations at 68th and O and at 40th and Old Cheney. Buffalo Wings and Rings.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy and healthy Christmas and New Year's celebration. We are thankful for time with family and friends this holiday season and wish everyone a great end to 2021 as we head into 2022. This important message comes to you from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialist here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services on the air because they care.
One-on-one with DP.
What's been the difference?
I think it's a system that I formed for myself. And it didn't start here. Like we've talked about my history. You know, I've played with Michael Porter and Trae Young, and I've played with these guys, you know, and I started playing basketball when I was 8th grade, and I was the tallest dude, and I've just accepted it. I've learned to be okay with it, and I've just made it work for me.
Weekdays from 3 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Do you know the common signs of transmission trouble?
Your engine revs before falling into gear, shifting is rough, or you're leaking reddish-brown fluid.
Knowing the signs could mean repair instead of replace.
That's where we come in. We're certified transmission.
The job done right at the right price.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, I'm Charlie Stone, and in just a few moments, Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln, will be joining us with the latest update. But before I bring Andy on, I'd like to tell our listeners about how proud I am to work with Honda of Lincoln. I like the way they provide listeners honest, up-to-date information that helps people make informed decisions about buying or leasing. Hey, Andy, are you with us?
Yes, I am, Charlie, and thank you for your comment.
Andy, what's happening at Honda of Lincoln?
We still have truckloads of new Hondas arriving daily, and there's still more than 500 new Hondas to choose from, either in stock or on the way. Plus, we have 0% APR financing available.
How about used, Andy?
One of our best selections of all makes and models, and we have a great selection of certified pre-owned Hondas that have special APR starting at 0.99%.
That's great, Andy. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Sartor Heyman Jewelers says let it snow because a white New Year's Eve could mean free jewelry. Shop from November 24th to December 24th, and if it snows 3 inches or more on New Year's Eve, your purchase is free. Holiday savings throughout the store. 36 months interest-free financing with approved credit. And remember, shop from November 24th to December 24th, and if it snows 3 inches or more on New Year's Eve, your purchase is free. Sartor Heyman Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition since 1905.
A new Planet Fitness location is open near you. To celebrate, you can join for just $1 down and then $10 a month. We're squeaky clean and ready to welcome you with tons of equipment and plenty of space to spread out. So join the judgment-free zone today. We're ready when you are. Just $1 down, $10 a month. Offer ends soon. Join us today.
A brand new Planet Fitness location is now open at 84th and Layton.
Planet Fitness locations are independently owned and operated. See Club for details.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they're hiring for production operators at $21.72 an hour and other select jobs starting at $23.42 an hour, with wages growing up to $27.55 an hour. Continental also has salary jobs available with great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And the Lincoln Journal-Star's Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Wednesday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, early break. Fun show so far. You got the podcast at theticketfm.com. Thanks as always to Sean Callahan for joining us. We'll talk to Parker Gabriel next segment on the Spine Double Barrel Wednesday.
I'm engaged.
Is Parker here or is he on vacation? He is to Wisconsin.
He's in Wisconsin,
but
he's working most of the time. He's probably listening right now. Hello, Parker.
Hey, Parker.
Parker. He's not going to work a lot today. So you know who. I'm in the bullpen. I'll be engaged.
How's your arm?
Good. I mean,
getting sore. Need a massage in that thing?
No, I don't need that. And by the way, I saw the text line. I understand that Christmas is about giving, not receiving. I just think it's about giving to children.
Did you see Schaefer's text also?
No.
Can Sipple lend his truck at 8:30?
Schaefer, I need my truck at 8:30.
It's like the best he's chiming in today. Gave my song
I like
a 0.
Schaefer. Yeah, I like Schaefer.
He said
listening.
at 6:05, please keep me entertained this morning, he said, to start the show.
Oh, God.
And now he's saying, can I borrow your truck?
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, Schaefer. We appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Good luck
Thank
in
you.
your moving endeavors. And tell Slider
It sounds
to
like
get
he's
down.
doing
Get
fine.
down, Slider. Get down.
Yeah.
Sit.
Yeah, let's talk about the transfer.
Okay,
portal.
we had Sean Callahan on in the first hour, and we just saw a tweet that Sean retweeted from the NCAA transfer portal, which is, again, at the handle at Rivals Portal. Here is your December 22nd portal info update. Ready for this, Sip?
I'm ready.
Okay. Since August 1st, let's go with this. There's 865 FBS scholarship entries since August 1st. 28 have officially withdrawn. 837 are still actively in the portal.
Okay, stop. Yeah, 837 in the portal. 837.
Almost 1,000.
That seems like a big number, right?
222 have announced new schools, which means 26.5% have found a new home so far.
Okay, so still a lot of guys looking for places. It's the portal conversation is interesting to me for a lot of reasons, including the notion of quick fix. You know, it's a quick fix for the player, right? And a quick fix for the program. I don't think Scott Frost would want to characterize it that way, right? He's saying the transfer portal can put us over that. We can get players from the portal that can help put us over the top, right?
Right.
For instance, I think Nebraska is going to rely. I mean, if you just want to focus on the offensive line, I think they're going to rely on the portal, perhaps. For two, it's informed speculation. Turner Corcoran moves to center. Teddy Prohaska starts at left tackle.
I hadn't thought about Corcoran at center.
Yeah, Corcoran at center, Teddy Prohaska at left tackle, maybe Benhart to guard, and you get two guys out of the portal to fill it out.
Okay,
you might that's the sort of thing.
So
you're
a right tackle and a guard then.
Perhaps, yeah. That's the sort of thing you might be looking at.
Well, I love Prohaska at left tackle. I'm assuming he comes back healthy from the injury because in his game and a half he played there, he was really good.
Now, let's just verbalize what the concern. I mean, this is probably in the back of people's mind, and we'll bring it to the front. Okay, you don't want the portal to become this crutch that you lean on all the time, right? It's probably tempting, right? Well, we're not recruiting that well, but it's okay because we can just go into the portal, and find guys. Not a safe way to do it because there's no guarantee you're going to get those kids. Just like there's no guarantee you're going to lock in recruits. There's no guarantee you're going to lock in guys from the portal. So the portal's kind of a scary notion to me because it is alluring, right? You read the number. Wow. There's 837 kids in the portal or whatever there is, 800 plus. There has to be a right tackle in there somewhere, right? Right? Come on, guys. There's got to be a quarterback. There's 800 guys in there. But it's the same old story. I mean, if there's a good quarterback in there, how many teams are looking for him?
Right.
You know?
And if a guy's in there for a long time, doesn't that tell you about the interest in him?
Yeah, it's kind of a red
Like
flag.
if you've got a great player in the portal, he's going to probably be gone pretty soon.
Yeah.
Unless he's waiting for one situation in particular to open.
I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like to throw I don't like to throw blankets over these discussions because all these things can be they're unique for each individual. But those are big. I'm glad you went to the air with those numbers. People wonder about how many guys are in the portal. Well, 800 plus.
800 plus right now. And again, 26.5% of the guys who have entered their name in the portal have found a new home. 73.5% are still out there searching for a spot.
Interesting. Ducker.
Yeah, so we mentioned to Sean Callahan that Jay Ducker, who again is from Bellevue West, was the 2019 Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Nebraska. Went to Northern Illinois. As you mentioned, Sip, he wasn't the starter going into the season. And as Sean said, the starting running back there did have 4 60-plus yard runs before he got hurt. And Ducker comes in and goes over 1,000 yards. Jay Ducker's stats this year they lost their bowl game to Coastal Carolina, 47-42, but it was a good game. This year he ran 218 times for 1,184 yards, 3 touchdowns, an average of 5.4 yards per carry.
Now, here's what you said on the rundown. Jay Ducker's in the transfer portal from Northern Illinois. Could he be the running back of the future in Lincoln? I just think that's a little aggressive.
Well, yeah, of course it's aggressive.
Yeah, the running. I mean, you're elevating him pretty fast there from a good Mac back to the answer in Lincoln. I'd say that's a little aggressive. Okay,
understood.
Yeah. Keep in mind, I don't even know if he would have chosen to go back to Northern Illinois. Based on what I'm hearing, he wouldn't even have had a starting job there guaranteed. They got guys. Now, he did put up numbers though, so he'll get interest
from Power 5.
Yeah.
He's obviously from Nebraska,
and he could end up at Nebraska.
Will they ask him?
Yeah,
to
is
come
he
back
the
here?
answer at Nebraska? That's a little aggressive. I'd say.
I think you're gonna have a lot of people out there that would like to have him come home based on what he did for his numbers. But as we pointed out, that's a good running school. They have a good offensive line in a weaker conference in the MAC.
They did have a good offensive line, and Sean's right. I mean, you could take a Ramir Johnson, put him in the MAC, and he's going to put. I bet he gets 1,000.
That is the same school that early in the year lost to Michigan 63-10, Northern Illinois, and they still were a good MAC school.
Mm-hmm.
Went to a bowl game, almost beat a decent Coastal Carolina team, but they did get blasted by a Big Ten team, 63-10 this season.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to something I just said. I mean it. I don't have to rethink this. If you put Ramir Johnson in the MAC, he's getting 1,000. In a decent situation, decent offensive line, decent offense, good team. He's that type of back. They might already have that type of back.
Milkman says on the text line, says I think you already have good running backs. They need a better offensive line. I'm curious where fans stand on that. Do you think they have a good group of running backs and it's just the offensive line's fault, or is it still both at fault?
I think it's a fair. I don't think you need to overthink that. I think it's a good, okay to good group of running backs with an offensive line that really struggled. Okay. But I would still contend that pass blocking was the main issue. They got it going run wise at times, but I think it's an okay to good running back room, but they have to get better up front on offense. The offensive line, mainly an offensive line issue. That's what I'd say.
So I get rank these in order in terms of importance of getting somebody in the portal. Okay. These are offensive positions. I'm going to
portal discussion.
Yeah, portal. Because
well, come on, number one. You know what that is.
Quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go from there then.
All right. So after that, is it more important? I'm going to say I'm taking tight end out of this because even though you lost Austin Allen, you've got Voklik, you got Fedoni. I'm not even putting it in there.
AJ Rollins.
Okay. So you have quarterbacks one.
James
rank
Carney.
these in order of importance in the portal: running back, wide receiver, and offensive line. Man,
offensive line's number one. If you take quarterback out, 2 offensive linemen. Too often. You got to fortify
Okay,
that.
what's
run.
more important than getting after that? Is it more important to get a receiver because you lost Toure, obviously? Or is it more important to get a running back because you don't know what you have right now?
Well, you know what you have. You know what you have.
Maybe it depends if the line gets better. Are
You're going
those
to
guys
get
better?
you should get Gabe Irvin back.
You don't know what you have there. He didn't play that much this year
He's
before he
pretty
got
good,
hurt.
though. Ramir Johnson, Marquise Stepp.
I mean, those
Brody Bell.
Those are guys that are they're fine.
Yeah, they're fine.
But can you get great?
Can they get better?
Kenneth Walker changed the entire Michigan State program this year out of the portal. Right?
That would be a oversimplification. They have at least one NFL receiver and maybe two. Okay.
But Kenneth Walker got the offense clicking early on. Like he was a Heisman candidate for a reason.
Very good running back. Very good running
Which
back.
they were not expecting him to be that good.
Yeah.
They thought he'd be good.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying. If Nebraska could get Kenneth Walker out of the portal,
right,
or a reasonable facsimile, that would be amazing.
Maybe Jay Ducker is that.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he might be. He might be.
We don't know for sure.
Yeah, he might be. Yeah. I mean, look, Kenneth Walker did not light the world on fire at Wake Forest. Okay,
I know
he didn't.
He lit on fire for most of the season at Michigan State.
Right. So, but going back to ranking them of importance, I would say it's offensive line, receiver, running back. But you could use if there's a good running back that presents himself in the portal, and maybe Ducker's that guy. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't. If Ducker wants to come to Nebraska, would you say no to him?
No,
I wouldn't think so. All right. I think they have 5 scholarship running backs, and you can always carry 6. 6 is fine. That's a good number. So I wouldn't say no.
Well, is there
receiver?
But is there a guarantee that all those running backs are even back still at this point?
Well,
they're back right now.
Yeah,
there still could be attrition that comes to this roster.
As far as receiver goes, you look at it, you feel good about those top 3. I would think, right? Xavier Betts, Omar Manning, and Oliver Martin. You can always fortify that room. Oh, and they got a guy from New Mexico State already.
They did.
A productive player from New Mexico State, 37 catches, 500 plus yards. I'm sticking with what I said. I think you need 2 from the offensive. You need 2 on the offensive line. I would look for another receiver, and then I'd say running back on offense.
We have people that are asking on the text line. Okay, what were Ducker's? Going back to Jay Ducker. Sorry, going back to him for a second.
Fine.
The Northern Illinois running back from Bellevue West, who has entered the portal. He was a freshman this year. He was the MAC Freshman of the Year.
Ran for almost 1,200 yards.
I mentioned the fact that they got blasted by Michigan in their second game of the season. People are asking, what did he do in that game? Well, he was not the starting running back yet because the starting running back was there in that 63-10 loss to Michigan. But he did run 7 times for 28 yards. He didn't start, looks like, until the 5th game of the season against Bowling Green.
Yeah, he was not their starter going in.
I think the running back got hurt against Toledo because he had 11 carries in that game, and then he had 33 carries against Bowling Green.
Right.
But I mean, he had some. Again, he averages 5.4 yards a carry.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, yeah, he's definitely put up a good freshman season.
In the bowl game against Coastal Carolina, he had 24 carries for 146. Average of 6.1, along a 56, no touchdowns,
and into the portal.
And kind of this is a little weird. He only had 1 catch this year. He's not really a receiving running back. 1 catch.
Yeah, I think he's a possibility at Nebraska. To say he's the future,
that's a little aggressive.
Yeah, that's a little much.
Aggressive. Maybe.
I don't know if I want to put the future tag on him, but you never know.
He's going to be a guy that.
Hey, I never would have said that about Kenneth Walker. I never would have said, yeah, Kenneth Walker, what you saw at Wake Forest, he's going to translate into the Big Ten and become the best running back in the Big Ten in 1 year. Never would have said it. So maybe Ducker's that type of guy. That's where, listen, those coaches are paid a lot of money to identify things like that and to check guys out and see. Jake, it's a real thing. Okay. Ron Brown was telling me about Tyrone Leggett. You don't remember Tyrone Leggett. He played Nebraska. He's a receiver back in the day. If you looked it up, I'd say Tyrone Leggett, late 80s, early 90s. Look that up. Ron Brown was telling me that Nobody recruited Tyrone Leggett. He became a very great player at Nebraska. Hardly anybody recruited him. But Frank and Ron watched every single play of his high school career. They watched every single play on film. And the teams didn't recruit Tyrone Leggett because he was smallish. But they
5'9".
they saw broad shoulders and said, we can put weight on him.
He was a third-round pick in 1992.
Okay, late 80s, early 90s. That's exactly right. Now, Tyrone was lightly recruited. I mean, really lightly recruited. But that's an example of what? That's an example of coaches identifying a player that they can make develop. They can make him work. And they made it work. That's a recruiting success story. And that's the kind of guys you got to find, especially at a place like Nebraska, where 5-star running backs don't just present themselves to you as if you're Nick Saban, right?
Wouldn't that be nice, though?
They just don't present themselves to you. It just doesn't really happen. All right? You don't have the pick of the litter. You better go find Tyrone Leggett's, right? And maybe Ducker's that guy. Maybe they'll watch film and say, okay, yeah, let's see.
Oh, this sounds like an Iowa approach to things here, Sip. Find guys that aren't recruited heavily.
Right.
And make them into defensive backs of the year.
You've swung around to Iowa,
What you just described about Tyrone Leggett sounds like Kirk Ferentz and Phil Parker at Iowa. Riley Moss was a 2-star player, and he was the defensive back of the year in the conference. Micah Hyde wasn't highly recruited. You know, I could keep going. Desmond King wasn't highly recruited.
No,
Those guys all are NFL players and were very, very good at Iowa.
Yeah, I think we saw a running back.
Painful for me.
I think we saw a running back at Wisconsin that went to Wisconsin as a safety this year. And it was
at 17 years old.
Right. And they saw something in him. So, yeah, that's what it's largely about. I got to do that, Jake. That's what you got to do here. That takes a lot of work. It's a lot of grinding, and it's a lot of intuition. And it's finding the right coaches that can do that. And then getting the player here.
Before we get to Parker Gabriel, Jeff chimes in regarding the importance of what's the more important to get in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
A quarterback, receiver,
O-line.
offensive line, running back. Jeff says, I would argue offensive line is 1 and quarterback is 2.
Okay.
We had a pretty good quarterback last couple of years, but he was always running for his life.
That's not I'm not. I get you. I understand. I'm still going to say, okay, maybe we solve this by saying quarterback number 1, O-line a very close to. I think you need a veteran quarterback for this situation to make this situation in which you have to win quickly work. You don't want to
have time to experiment anymore.
No, not really. Not really. I always feel sort of bad when we talk like this because it seems like we're diminishing Logan Smothers, and I don't want to do that. Logan might be the guy or Heinrich Horberg for that matter. Maybe their development has been Heinrich's. We have a good idea what Logan's is. Maybe Heinrich's development has been quicker than we think, and he's just ready to roll. That's what you hope if you're a Nebraska fan. But I still say getting a 5th-year guy out of the portal at quarterback, like Slovis would have made a lot of sense. Miles Brennan would have made a lot of sense. Guys that have done it, they don't come to campus all wide-eyed, right? There's not an adjustment period to go into class. A guy like Miles Brennan, a 6-year guy, has that part pretty wrapped up. He probably has his bachelor's degree, right? Adrian had his bachelor's degree. He was working on his master's. Adrian told me one time class wasn't a big factor. He didn't have a lot of that, because he's in a master's program and he could structure it accordingly to fit a college football schedule. Those freshmen that come in, Jake, they got a lot to adapt to. I mean, DiCaprio Budo told me it was really challenging for him coming from Florida when the winter hit. He didn't really know how to drive in the snow. And it was really tricky for him, he said.
Why is the road so slick?
Yeah. I mean, think about it. He came from Florida. He came from the Miami area. He never had to drive in snow before. Now it's colder than hell and it's slick. It doesn't snow anymore in here, which is curious to me. But
Yeah, he would like it here now. This seems like home. Yeah, if you missed the news yesterday, Keaton Slovis is going to Pitt. He's not coming to Nebraska.
Slovis going to Pitt?
Yes. Slovis is going to Pitt.
That gives me pause a little bit.
Why?
What's Pitt got?
Well, they just got a guy that was in the Heisman Trophy finalist.
Yeah.
That went from what?
You ever been to Pittsburgh?
He went to 2 average years. To
Pittsburgh's not
first-round
bad.
pick.
I don't want to say that. Pittsburgh's a nice city.
Yeah,
for
they
sure.
well they have a guy that's gonna be a first round pick.
Yeah.
That he's replacing is what they have.
Yeah.
And Jordan Addison, assuming he's back.
Yeah, Blitnikoff winner.
Yeah, that's what he has. No Mark Whipple.
You know what?
No
I'll
Mark
bring it
Whipple.
to the air. I don't know if I've talked about this. I almost don't like to do this, but you know what concerns me a little bit is these quarterbacks might be turning on Nebraska film and looking at the offensive line and saying,
yeah,
that guy number 2, he was sort of a magician at times. And I don't know that I'm a magician. Adrian dodged rushers pretty well, but he got really good at it because he had to do it a lot. Right.
Yeah. If you watch the film, you say maybe I don't go there.
Well, it's okay. I mean, I'm not joking.
I'm not joking either.
Like if I were Whipple, I'd say don't bother watching that Michigan State film or don't where the one tackle allowed 15 hurries.
God, I forgot about that.
Just don't bother. You don't need to watch the film.
14 hurries.
Yeah, we're changing things up. Just watch something else. Watch Office Christmas Party.
That will put
It's
you
funny.
in spirits. You know, commit to us afterwards. It'd be wonderful. Parker Gabriel is up next on Early Break on the Ticket.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Expect sunny skies and mild temperatures as we'll top out at around 52. Winds out of the southwest at around 10. Overnight, mainly clear, a low dropping down to around 30. We will continue our climb in temps as we head into our Thursday with an afternoon high approaching 55. And by Christmas Eve, highs could be into the 60s. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Do you know the common signs of transmission trouble?
Your engine revs before falling into gear. Shifting is rough, or you're leaking reddish-brown fluid.
Knowing the signs could mean repair instead of replace.
That's where we come in. We're certified transmission.
The job done right at the right price.
South Lincoln has a new place for you to catch all sporting events. The Upside Bar and Lounge is your destination for Monday Night Football, UFC fight nights, and more. It's a great place to meet friends to enjoy great drinks and food, with plenty of TVs to catch all the action. There's easy access and free parking and comfortable seating for groups. And don't forget happy hour from 3 to 6 p.m. each weekday. There's specials every night, including taco night on Mondays and burger baskets on Tuesdays. That's at the Upside Bar and Lounge at 27th and Pine Lake.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air's motto is our family serving yours. That starts with how we hire. We go through an extensive interview process to really get to know you and show you who we are. We want to help you build a great career, be challenged, have fun, and bring home an excellent weekly paycheck. We offer competitive wages with benefits, including a day off for your birthday. Apply to be a part of the John Henry's family at jhlincoln.com. That's jhlincoln.com.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
One-on-one with DP.
What's been the difference?
I think it's a system that I formed for myself. And it didn't start here. Like we've talked about my history, I've played with Michael Porter and Trey Young, and I've played with these guys, and I started playing basketball when I was 8th grade, and I was the tallest dude, and I've just accepted it. I've learned to be okay with it, and I've just made it work for me.
Weekdays from 3 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sutter Heyman Jewelers says let it snow because a white New Year's Eve could mean free jewelry. Shop from November 24th to December 24th, and if it snows 3 inches or more on New Year's Eve, your purchase is free. Holiday savings throughout the store. 36 months interest-free financing with approved credit. And remember, shop from November 24th to December 24th, and if it snows 3 inches or more on New Year's Eve, your purchase is free. Sutter Heyman Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition since 1905.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Dana Trucking. Learn more and apply today at danatrucking.com.
We're on the air. Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jake on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is time for our part 2 of Double Barrel Wednesday, but not before we give Parker Gabriel his proper introduction today.
I'm going to ask him that right off.
Double Barrel Wednesday. It's a Double Barrel Wednesday.
Double Barrel Wednesday had some pop in. Very good job by Parker on Double Barrel Wednesday.
You guys know what day it is? It's Double Barrel Wednesday.
And we are now joined by your colleague, Sip, the Journal Star's Parker Gabriel. You have a question off the bat for Parker.
I got your back today, by the way. Don't worry. I'm locked in. I thought I had.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm locked and loaded. Jake last night put himself in a situation at Mannheim Steamroller where he had to chug two cups of wine. And my question to you is, can Parker Gabriel, can you chug wine?
I haven't tried it.
Right.
Not many people wouldn't recommend it either, Parker.
Yeah, I don't think it would be like my first choice. I guess it depends. Like, what are we talking about? Like, if someone was like, "Hey, can you chug wine?" I would probably say no.
If someone had a gun to your head,
someone,
you could, yeah.
Had a knife at me or a gun at me and said, "Hey,
chug it,"
chug this wine or else, then probably, yeah, I could.
Yeah, it's circumstantial. I don't know. I couldn't do it.
I regret it.
Under normal circumstances, I couldn't do it. All right, get to the football part. Parker's got a lot. We got a lot to talk about.
Parker, it appears that Tony Tuioti is heading to Oregon to be their defensive line coach. I'm curious, if you're in Nebraska, is it as simple as putting Mike Dawson at that spot to replace him, or how do you go about replacing him if he is indeed moving on to Oregon?
Yeah, I think anytime you lose a guy, you want to take a breath and make sure that you're doing the right thing. But one of the pieces that makes Mike Dawson valuable is that he's got versatility on that side of the ball. So, this what we've been saying all along is Nebraska is going to have to shuffle its offensive staff unless they lose a guy on the defensive side. And so, one route now is that perhaps they don't have to do that. Now that doesn't mean that's what they're going to do, but if indeed Tony Tuioti goes to Oregon, and it sounds like he is, you could slide Dawson to the defensive line. Either Eric Chenander or whoever is going to coach special teams handles the outside linebackers. That would leave you with a spot to, find a running backs coach, and away you go. That's one way to do it. Is that what Scott Frost is going to do the moment the ink is dry on Tuioti's, contract at Oregon? Probably not. You at least, look around and see, hey, what makes the most sense. But certainly that's one of the avenues that seemed like, a potential since all of this coaching shakeup started.
Parker Gabriel joins us. He's the beat writer for the Lincoln Journal-Star. He covers the Nebraska football team. Parker, is this it? Now, do you anticipate any other movement on the defensive side of the ball from the coaching staff?
Yeah, it's difficult to say. I mean, I don't anticipate it necessarily. Obviously, Travis Fisher's name comes up a lot because he's a good coach and he's from the Southeast and all of that. But, until a couple of days ago, I wouldn't have necessarily told you that I thought Tony Tuioti was going to leave. Now, a bunch of those guys, Tuioti, Dawson, Fisher, like they've been in the mix for other jobs before, and it's because they're good coaches. So there's still a lot of jobs to fill out there. There's still, teams that may come calling after some of Nebraska's coaches. But we'll see. I mean, I don't think we're at the end of the coaching carousel by any stretch. But over the next couple of weeks, I think you'll see, most of those coaching staffs that have new guys start to fill out for the most part. And then, even then, you can't count it out entirely, but it does seem to settle down a little bit by the time you get, a couple weeks into January.
How do you and I think we're on the same page here. It looks like Tony Tuioti's headed to Oregon. How would you assess the job he did at Nebraska? What do you think?
Well, I think he did a really good job, and I think in particular when he got hired, there was a lot of, talk about his recruiting chops, and he'd been the recruiting director at Michigan and all of that. But I think one of the things that jumped out was that he did pretty good work at Cal before he got to Nebraska with guys that weren't blue chip recruits. And I think maybe more than anything else, he got some guys into the program that have helped or may well help down the road on the recruiting front. But I really think the calling card for Tony Tuioti over the time he did here is what, developmentally, how much better guys got. Ben Stille got a lot better over the last 3 years, and Casey Rogers has got a lot better over the last 3 years. And, Damian Daniels got a lot better over the last 3 years. And so it's I think that's a testament to the developmental work and the technique work and the way that, the guys at Tony Tuioti coached here, the way that they bought in. So, yeah, it's a big loss, assuming that he's gone to Oregon. But the flip side of that coin is that they went out and found him, sort of from outside the family, if you will, and it worked out really well. And now you got to go do it again.
Parker, for all this talk about Nebraska trying to add a quarterback in the portal, I'm curious, what kind of chance do you give Logan Smothers and/or Heinrich Haarberg and actually winning the job next year in general?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think off the top of your head, 3 weeks ago, you might have said not much, just because of the fact that, they're looking for a veteran guy, maybe even in a way a bridge guy, 1 year or something like that, and then let the young guys compete. The longer it goes, and I don't necessarily think it's panic time. Obviously, they've lost out on a couple guys. They've wanted out of the portal. But they could still find a guy who's started a bunch of games. And if that happens, you're going to say it's probably not a great chance. But I also think, they're going to have a chance to show their mettle. And if they really don't find somebody, I think they will still. But if they don't, or if it's a young guy, the chances go way up. So I think it's going to be interesting. I wouldn't count either of those guys out. Obviously, if they find a fifth-year guy who started a ton of games, you're not going to sit here and say like, well, there's a great chance Haarberg's going to win the job. But man, I mean, if it's three young guys competing, or if they don't find somebody in the portal, obviously if they don't, but those guys are going to be in the mix, and I think they obviously both have a little bit of a leg up here, at least in the opening weeks, to impress Mark Whipple and make their case that, hey, look, I'm going to be in the mix for this thing.
Okay, Parker Gabriel joins us. Parker, all right, let's talk more portal.
All right.
More portal. Let's lock in on the quarterback. Now, you got to guide the listeners and your old aging columnist here. Where do we focus now as far as quarterbacks go in the portal? Give me a name or two, first and last names.
First and last names?
Yes.
Would you also like the school that they previously played for?
Hey, I want middle names too, Parker.
That would be
Middle
desirable.
names, too.
Yes, school.
School
first and last name.
I think the name I think the name that makes the most sense right now is Casey Thompson from Texas.
Okay.
He's played a ton of ball. He's a class of 2018 guy, I think. So he's experienced. That would make him the same age as Adrian Martinez, I think, going into his fifth year.
Yep.
He's played a ton of football for Texas. He's played really well. I think he's probably leaving because Quinn Ewers is headed down there, and he was sort of a little bit in and out of the lineup this past year, but he's a guy who can really throw it and has the athleticism to be a dual threat. So, that would be one name. Zach Calzada from Texas A&M is leaving. Texas A&M got Max Johnson from LSU. So that would be another guy. And then I think in the coming days too, there's a bunch of teams obviously playing bowl games over the next week. And there may be another round of players overall, and included in that conversation, quarterbacks that find themselves in the portal, essentially between now and January 1st or January 3rd. So Casey Thompson's a really good player.
Yep.
there's a couple of other ones out there, and then maybe there'll be some new entrants to the portal here in the coming days.
One last portal question, Parker. Jay Ducker, who's from Bellevue West, went to Northern Illinois, was the MAC Freshman of the Year this past year with almost 1,200 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, 5.4 yards per carry. Do you think Nebraska will call him with interest in maybe joining the Huskers or not?
Yeah, that's another good question. We'll see. I think, I think a lot of people think they will. We'll see how much interest they show. He's obviously a really good player. He had a great freshman year at Northern Illinois. They are in a bit of a roster crunch, which, I mean, you can use that. It's reality, whether they use that to say there's some players they can get in on or can't, we'll see. But they also have they still, I think, have 5 backs on scholarship. And so I think if you're going to make a run at Jay Ducker or any other running back, or if you think you might be able to get in on a high school one here before the February signing date, they probably have room for at max one more.
Okay.
And I would say there's probably areas on the roster where they could use more help than they need at running back. Now, if you think he's special, excuse me, you try to go get him regardless. So, but they're up against it roster wise. And so, that to me is sort of the balancing factor that just keeps me from right at this moment saying, man, I think they're going to make a hard run at the kid.
Okay.
Parker, always great stuff.
stuff.
Thanks for the
Wow.
time and have a Merry Christmas, man.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Merry Christmas to you guys. And so in the holiday spirit, I'm going to use both first name and last name since those are good identifying qualities this morning and say Merry Christmas, but also shut up.
Yes,
Thank you,
Parker.
Thank you, Parker.
All right,
Good
see you
rundown today.
Parker Gabriel, Lincoln Journal.
Okay, Casey Thompson, I can talk about authoritatively because I watched him.
Authoritatively.
Well, I watched him this
I
year.
know.
Yeah.
This sounds like a funny way to describe something.
Casey Thompson's father, I'm not going to bore you with old guy stuff, but is Charles Thompson, and Chris at the Baldwin shop and our other older listeners would remember Charles is a great quarterback at Oklahoma. Gifted option quarterback. Great one. One of the best. That's
I
his
don't know
father.
that name.
Yeah, Charles, your dad would know Charles Thompson's name for sure. Casey would fit Nebraska really well. He is a good thrower, but he is a good runner. He's, you know what, kind of similar to Adrian in a way. He can run, but he's probably pass first. It was surprising to me because of his dad that he was such a good thrower. Casey Thompson would make a lot of sense to me. I don't know these other guys he mentioned. I haven't seen them, but I've seen Casey.
He said
Thompson.
Zach Calzada, the
Calzada,
A&M quarterback.
Yeah, that sounds like something you get at Starbucks. A calzada,
or maybe at a pizza place, a calzone.
Yeah. You might get that at the portal, or you might not.
Or
get
maybe
that.
at, I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've seen Casey Thompson, and that would be a fit.
All right, let's play the game show. Give us a call right now at 464-5685. Your chance to win a business box of bagels, 2 Bagels and Joe's. You are 1-1 on the week. Today's topic, Wild Card Wednesday. There was a big golf tournament over the weekend. You saw sons and daughters playing with their parents. Charlie Woods played with Tiger. So I got in the spirit of thinking, hey, how about some golfer nationalities? What countries are these guys from on Wild Card Wednesday? 464-5685. Shut Up Sipple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
What countries are these famous golfers from? We have done this once in a while.
Yes, we've done it seven or 8 times.
No, I'm going to guess 4.
It's fine if we've done it 7 or 8 times.
It's been a while.
Adam is on the line.
Adam, how do you feel about golfer nationalities?
I feel okay.
Okay, Adam.
Adam, he's chipper this morning.
Yeah, I'm glad you're chipper. It's Christmas week.
Yes. Adam,
ho.
Right.
Adam, here is your first question. What country is Jason Day from?
Australia.
What would you have guessed, Sip, there?
Australia. I knew that one.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a hint. None of these answers are USA, so there you go. Okay. Okay, this is for the tie, Sip. Here's your first question. What country is Paul Casey from? Man with two first names, Paul Casey.
That gives me not a hint. Paul Casey's from South Africa.
No, he is not. Do you want that one, Adam, or do you want to pass?
Yeah, he's from Great Britain.
England.
Yeah, England. That is correct.
Yeah.
2-0 lead for Adam. This is for the win. Adam, you're up 2-0.
This has not gone well.
For the shutout, what country is Henrik Stenson from?
Sweden.
And there is a victorious 3-0 rout today by Adam. He's getting bagels for the holidays, and
Yeah,
you're
good job.
getting nothing. Adam, nice work.
and I'll like
call it on the road.
Yeah, Adam, thanks for participating. That was a
round.
Yeah, I got behind early and I just never really responded that well.
And by the way, Adam will be getting those. He doesn't come here. We will have Eagle delivery.
How's this work now?
Harrison will take the information for Adam right now.
Okay.
And Eagle Delivery will come here. They're your top courier here. They're the ticket's official courier. They will deliver the coupon to Adam to go redeem at Bagels and Joe.
We make it pretty easy for
That's
people.
right. You can just sit back,
Free
relax.
food, free delivery.
Here comes Eagle Delivery. Kevin and Austin, those guys bringing it.
We do everything but stick the bagel in your mouth.
That's right.
That might happen one of these days. I keep thinking the pizza companies are going to do that. You're just going to be able to order it. And they're going to walk into your living
Uber
room and
Eats just becomes that.
shove it in your mouth.
Are you ready to bite?
Yeah, I don't
want
want to. I don't even want to get up. Just put it in my mouth.
I'm over here. I'm over here on the couch. Sir, you in here? Yeah, over here.
Me first.
Make sure it's not piping hot. Let's cool it down before you put it in my mouth, please.
Just open your mouth.
Before we get to break, I've been informed that we have throughout the day we're giving away 4 $50 gift certificates to the Canopy Street Market, which is right down the Haymarket. Yeah, because they want to help out people who are in need this holiday.
Okay, that's
maybe
nice.
are unfortunate, and we're going to give away ours to Dan Metzler out there. He DM'd us saying his brother's having some health issues, not
Okay.
able to work right now.
Okay.
And so we're going to give Dan to give away to his brother our gift card today from the Canopy Street Market. Thank you for donating those, Canopy Street Market, and thank you for submitting.
Yeah, that's
that, Dan.
wonderful. That's wonderful.
Taking care of people this holiday season.
Okay, thank you,
So
Jake.
congrats to Dan, and we'll get you that gift card here. Come by the station, and we will have that for you. When we come back, we will bring in Happer for the spillover.
Happer.
Next on Early Break on the Ticket.
Hi, I'm Charlie Stone, and in just a few moments, Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln, will be joining us with the latest update. But before I bring Andy on, I'd like to tell our listeners about how proud I am to work with Honda of Lincoln. I like the way they provide listeners honest, up-to-date information that helps people make informed decisions about buying or leasing. Hey, Andy, are you with us?
Yes, I am, Charlie, and thank you for your comment.
Andy, what's happening at Honda of Lincoln?
We still have truckloads of new Hondas arriving daily, and there's still more than 500 new Hondas to choose from, either in stock or on the way. Plus, we have 0% APR financing available.
How about used, Andy?
One of our best selections of all makes and models, and we have a great selection of certified pre-owned Hondas that have special APR starting at 0.99%.
That's great, Andy. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Working at Continental of Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they're hiring for production operators at $21.72 an hour and other select jobs starting at $23.42 an hour, with wages growing up to $27.55 an hour. Continental also has salary jobs available with great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today. The workday is long, the bills are due, and sometimes you just need to relax. There's no better way to do that than in your brand new hot spring spa from Bonsall Pool & Spa. With hot tubs as low as $75 per month and interest-free financing, you're sure to find the perfect spa to fit your lifestyle. So get over to Bonsall Pool & Spa today and check out their selection of hot spring spas. Bonsall Pool & Spa, 33rd and Highway 2. Every day made better.
One-on-one with DP.
What's been the difference?
I think it's a system that I formed for myself. And it didn't start here. Like we've talked about my history, you know, I've played with Michael Porter and Trey Young, and I've played with these guys, you know, and I started playing basketball when I was 8th grade, and I was the tallest dude, and I've just accepted it. I've learned to be okay with it, and I've just made it work for me.
Weekdays from 3 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Dana Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Dana Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Dana Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Dana Trucking. Learn more and apply today at danatrucking.com.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air's motto is our family serving yours. That starts with how we hire. We go through an extensive interview process to really get to know you and show you who we are. We want to help you build a great career, be challenged, have fun, and bring home an excellent weekly paycheck. We offer competitive wages with benefits, including a day off for your birthday. Apply to be a part of the John Henry's family at jhlincoln.com. That's jhlincoln.com.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Hi, I'm Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and the NFL, I wore lots of protective gear to safeguard my health. I'm still protecting my health, as well as my family, friends, and community because I got my COVID vaccine. And now, even kids 5 years and older can be vaccinated. If you've been vaccinated, get your booster shot if you qualify. It's free, it's safe, and it protects all of us. Suit up against COVID. Find out more at healthylincoln.org.
Do you know the common signs of transmission trouble?
Your engine revs before falling into gear. Shifting is rough, or you're leaking reddish-brown fluid.
Knowing the signs could mean repair instead of replace.
That's where we come in. We're Certified Transmission.
The job done right at the right price.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth. 93.7 The Ticket.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Today's spillover is just with Happer because Mike Schaefer is moving today.
That's right.
Hello, Happer.
Hello.
Was that a proper hello today for you, Sip? Happer.
I like it better when he goes, hello. All right, let's talk about Casey Thompson.
Casey Thompson.
Simple is interesting.
Yeah, so Keaton Slovis goes to Pitt. Now your attention, if you're Nebraska, turns to Casey Thompson in the portal from Texas.
Well, what did Happer say during the break?
He's your best option.
Go
right
ahead,
now.
Happer. Say
I think
it.
he would be your best possible option as we speak, considering what else is out there. I don't know what else is coming, though.
Right.
So, I don't know. There is always another, but I want to get your thought. We could talk about Thompson. I think they need two. Like, I think they need two quarterbacks.
Happer, hold on. Let's just
Yeah.
one thing at a time.
Whatever happened to the Akron kid?
One thing at a
the
time.
Akron kid?
That ship sailed.
That ship sailed.
One thing at a time. Casey Thompson's 6'1", 195. So you don't get the size you had in Adrian, but you get 24 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 63% passer. He's not the runner either that Adrian is, but I watched
Fine with
him.
that.
Yeah, I am too. I watched him twice. He'd be good here. As far as getting two, Happer, I was just shouted down by a millennial on that one day who said, how are you going to get two quarterbacks?
Well, you're not getting two starting quarterbacks.
Well, what if you get one? There's another one's not going to say, well, you already. Another one's going to say you already got one.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get two.
Well, the sell is you're not going to be the starter. This is whatever starter you get is a 1-year deal type of thing. Now Now maybe it's not.
Oh, I like the idea. I was going with it until one day.
I just think you need.
I was said you're never getting two.
Because I just think you need as much experience as possible. So that would probably mean your starter ultimately is a 1-year guy.
Okay.
And then you could bring somebody else.
Yeah,
in.
best case scenario would be that. I agree with you 100%. I just don't know if you can pull that off.
That's a little down the road, though. I mean, they need one first.
Right now, you got to get one. I just wonder. See, don't you guys wonder? And I maybe people would say, "Well, Sipple, shouldn't you know this?" Are they pursuing Casey Thompson right now? Is there a
See, that's what I don't know.
Is there a pursuit?
All these guys who have been in the transfer portal, it's always been like, yeah, we whether it's Slovis or whatever it was before.
Miles Brennan.
There was actual seemingly
There was it was not there's nothing seemingly about it. They met with Miles Brennan.
Okay.
All right. Go. Yeah. Mickey, Joseph, and Bill Bush had lunch with him.
I don't think that has been anything that's actually connected any of the other quarterbacks to Nebraska so far, other than they need one.
Right.
A&M, Zach Calzada is a sophomore. He had 17 touchdowns, 9 picks this past year. He's in the portal.
Zach, was he their starter?
Yes.
Yeah.
This was Jimbo's quarterback?
Yes.
So why is he in the portal?
Not at the start of the year, but yes.
Why is he in the
portal?
portal?
There was 3 SEC West starting quarterbacks in the portal this year.
Why is Calzada in the portal is the question.
I don't know.
His last game, he had 3 touchdowns, no picks, and a loss to LSU. He played well.
And the guy on the other side of him also transferred.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing.
Max Johnson was a starter in that game.
Yeah, for LSU.
See,
he's gone.
I mean, the one thing I don't like to do is delve deeply into guys.
Transferred to Texas A&M.
To delve deeply into guys that I don't know if Nebraska is interested in, and B, may never end up here. So I don't know. I mean, people are going to say, why don't you know about Calzada? Because that's why. I'm not going to go try to figure out this guy that may never come here. Casey Thompson, I'm more interested in.
Yeah, to me, for Calzada, and this is going deeper into it, you don't have a guarantee that the staff's here beyond next year. Where if you're Casey Thompson, you got 1 season to play. Yeah, Calzada's got several. He's a sophomore.
Yeah.
It's like, do I go to a place that
I'm with you? I think that
I can't. I don't know if they're going to be here after
the better fit for Nebraska is to have a 1-year, a graduating senior, grad transfer type of guy.
Yeah,
but that just makes the sell easier. If a guy wants to come here and play for a year and thinks that he can make it work, then he's going to bet on himself. That could also happen too.
Do you have any faith at all in Logan Smothers or Heinrich Harper?
Why would you phrase your question that way?
Well, to be the guy that saves Scott Frost. How about that? To be the guy next year.
To be the guy next year, very little. Okay. Very little. As far as their careers are concerned, it's not, the door's not shut on that.
No, at all.
Yeah, I think we know a little bit more about Logan than we do about Heinrich. Obviously, it's early in Heinrich's development.
Yeah.
So I don't, he could be the guy somewhere or here eventually. Same with Logan, but as far as next year is concerned, I would seriously doubt it. Right? I wouldn't want to. They're going to get a portal quarterback. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think so. The longer it goes, the more
the question is, if it's not Casey Thompson, where do you go to next?
Well, there's going to be others after the bowl season that present themselves in the portal. I'd like to know, and this is public information. You could figure it out, and maybe this is what I do today when I'm actually working. Is yes. How many quarterbacks are in the portal? I'd like the list. How many are there? How many there's 800 plus guys in the portal total. How many of those are quarterbacks? Can you get that information for me?
They keep track of these things.
Yes, this public information. That's the kind of thing I need to probably look at.
Yeah. We also heard, I think, from Schaefer last week about the Incarnate Word quarterback that was at the top of the FCS.
Ward.
Yeah, the top quarterback in the FCS level. Doesn't have a home yet, I don't believe.
No.
Mm-hmm.
That's the guy they're after.
He currently, according to 24/7 Sports, is the second highest rated player to be in the portal this cycle behind Quinn Ewers.
Okay.
Wow.
He has immediate eligibility, and he's eligible for 4 years.
Okay. Now, did you just Google? What'd you just Google up there?
Well, this is the 24/7 Sports transfer portal. They keep track of
and
this.
again, if he has that much time, it's hard to think that he's going to come here when you don't have a staff that's sure to be here beyond next
So
season.
the top guys that they have are Ewers, Cam Ward, Dylan Gabriel, who's already picked UCLA, Rattlers picked South Carolina, Max Johnson's Texas A&M, Slovis is to Pitt, Bo Nix is to Oregon, Calzada, don't know yet.
Okay.
Jacob Zeno, who was, I think, ended up being the starter at Baylor.
Okay.
Ended up at UAB, it looks like. Casey Thompson's after that.
And he's a free agent.
He is being crystal balled to TCU. There's apparently some TCU buzz right now.
Okay. There you go.
But there will be another way. That's kind of the top guys that are available right now. There will be another wave of this. So out of that group that I just mentioned, there's only 3 who are currently uncommitted. That would be Thompson, Calzada, and Ward.
Casey Thompson crystal balled to the Horned Frogs.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just wish there was a little more traction with Nebraska and some of these guys.
But there might be.
Maybe there is. and we
Happer,
just
you don't know. There could be.
Yeah, I assume that they have at least reached out to all of
Well,
them.
now hold on. Whipple said in his roundtable session last Wednesday. Was that Wednesday? 2
Tuesday?
Wednesdays ago?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Okay.
Wednesday.
Yeah, he said he's fielded a lot of calls. That he indicated people are calling them.
Whipple talks to a lot of people.
Yeah. So I mean, when I
Knows a
heard
lot of
that, my confidence in the situation grew at that point. Okay, so you're hearing from a lot of people. That's good. That seems like a good thing, right?
Yes.
Now you got to close it.
I think it's pretty normal. Like I don't know if it's like I don't know that we should say, well, he's hearing from a lot of people. This is a great thing. It's a bad thing if he's not.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
It's a bad thing if he's not.
Whipple should be hearing from a lot of people. He knows a lot of people.
They'll get a guy.
He's old.
I don't know.
Okay, let's not do that.
They'll get a guy. I don't know if it'll be any of those 3.
He's been around for a long time.
Yes.
He's he's
He's
coached
seen
with a
some
lot
things.
of people.
He's seen some things, man.
That's just getting interesting.
I loved his answer on like basically, the question was like, why are you here?
Mhm.
And he had the great answer at first, which was, well, it's Nebraska, and then he like talked for like a couple more minutes, and he eventually like ended up on screw it, like he was like, yeah, it's the Big Ten, I've never coached the Big Ten before, why not?
Mm-hmm.
That was
I like it. Yeah,
that was kind of the response from
It's
him, which I
interesting.
thought was funny.
Yeah, it is funny. Yeah.
Tony Tuioti heading to Oregon, it appears, Nebraska defensive line coach. We asked Parker, Gabriel, and Sean Callahan, how do you think he did a good job here? Like, how would you grade Tuioti?
I don't know. I think Tuioti is one of the better teachers they have had on staff. It was a bit of a short window. How many seasons? 2 or 3?
Three
seasons.
3 seasons. 3 seasons for Tony Tuioti.
And a lot of the recruits that he brought in have not yet played because of the amount of older depth they had when over the last couple of years. So I'd like to see how a guy like Raquan Buckley works out.
Marquise Black,
Jalen.
Do they stay or
Weaver.
do they follow him to Oregon?
I don't know. You never know. You never know why guys are here. Or, what they're.
He developed guys well. I mean, you'd say Stilley at the end was playing his best football of his life, and Stilley was playing well. Stilley, in fact, has made himself into perhaps an NFL player, which I wouldn't have guessed at the start of the season. He was a little stiff, but he played. He had a good year. Damian Daniels played well. DeAndre Thomas is. I think if I were Frost, I'd work hard to get Thomas back, but it looks like it might be too late.
Well, didn't he say after the Iowa game that he was gone?
I don't know what he said. He indicated it via social media.
That's
it was
right.
indicated.
Social media.
It was indicated.
Yeah, I've kind of just been planning on him not being.
Yeah,
they'll have.
It hasn't been an
revamp
official announcement on that on DeAndre Thomas. I don't. Gotcha. Did I miss it?
Well, there hasn't been an official announcement on any of these guys.
Damian.
Damian put out a thing on social media.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Yeah. But a very definitive. I'm gone.
I got you.
I don't think DeAndre Thomas has done that
I don't know.
Unless the Christmas season muddled my brain.
Probably did. It's a good chance you're at Shoemakers or something.
No,
missed the
haven't been at Shoemakers.
Cracker Barrel.
No,
doing
I
your
haven't
shopping.
been at Shoemakers.
I haven't done my shopping yet. What are you talking about?
I'm in a horrible way right now.
You got 3 days to go.
I haven't even considered the fact that Christmas is on Saturday.
Yeah, it's 3 days
that
away.
makes me feel better.
Yeah, I was like, I haven't done anything.
3 days away.
Well,
we
yeah,
have,
thank you.
We have Friday off, so you can do some
Yeah,
shopping.
that-
Christmas Eve.
Friday could help.
I have pinpointed Friday as a day.
Christmas Eve. That's the day, baby.
Yeah.
That's the one.
And all the men will be at Target looking
every-
for
Yeah. Can't you just say to your loved ones, COVID? Can't you just say COVID?
No, try again next. We'll try again next
It was
year.
COVID. It
Yeah.
was a tough year for everyone, and I didn't do my shopping until the
Yeah,
day
it's time
before
to get-
Christmas,
it's
just
time
like
to
every
get
other
there.
year.
COVID. Anything that goes bad in my life, I say COVID.
Yeah, well, it was COVID.
Yeah.
It's unprecedented times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we get out of here, Husker hoops tonight, 6:30. Kennesaw State.
It's happening.
Yes.
It's happening.
Red
need
Panda.
To win. Oh yes, that's the big news. Red Panda is
I get
in
to
Lincoln.
see Red Panda twice today.
Women play at noon
The
today.
women play at noon
against
Wyoming. The Cowgirls.
Noon tip off is interesting to me.
They wanted to give them a little bit more of an extended. They wanted to get them out of here, because they don't play until next Wednesday or something like Tuesday. So they're gonna have them back on like late Sunday night. So they wanted to give them the full weekend, so they get them out of here tonight.
Okay. Oh, that's
Stuff
good.
like that.
That's good.
Nebraska, the women are 11-0. They are playing well. The men need to win tonight. If they don't win tonight, it's going to be a long week ahead.
They are, in some way, surprisingly 12 to 12.5 point favorites.
Where would the Happer line be at?
That'd be shorter than that.
7.
I think I'd go 6.5.
7 comes to mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I was surprised to see the double-digit number come up today, but I don't know. Fred was great yesterday, just on kind of what has gone wrong and stuff like that. I thought he was as good as he's kind of been on that, explaining the whole thing.
Well, tell us about that.
He had a line. He was Jake. It's in there. There's something about pulling guys. So he was talking about bad shots and what's a bad shot. Does the definition of a bad shot change when your offense isn't really working? And he was like, "Look, I got to start. Sometimes I was pulling guys. I got to start pulling guys every time. They take bad shots.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's Fred from yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. And I put up on the board specific points on what is a good shot and what's a bad shot. We watched every single one of them on the film. And, it's not just the threes, the step back threes, it's the step back mid range. We were 1 for 13 in the mid range the other day. Casey being the only one hitting a mid range shot on a possession that hit the paint first. So it is. We must improve, and the way to improve is pulling guys when they're taking those shots. We've done it on some shots. I need to do it on all shots to get guys out of the lineup when they're taking those rushed, contested shots. They're killing us right now.
That's progress.
Expect a lot of substitutions.
That was about as hard line as he's been.
Yeah, that sounds like progress. You can't give everybody a green light. That's
what I said.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
said the
They all
exact same
can't
thing.
shoot.
Yeah, you can't give everybody a green light. Seldom does a coach do that. It seems like that's what he does. He wants them to play
Yeah,
loose.
everybody has and that's their whole thing. Like it's freedom, right?
Yeah.
But they
Yeah,
need,
yeah.
They need less freedom.
Yeah.
They need a little bit more structure.
It's not working.
Right.
So
a little bit more direction.
Yeah. How about that? Please.
Yeah, I think it's
Lay the
okay
base.
for these kids, this particular team right now, to know that they just can't do anything they want. All right, that's not working.
I totally agree.
Yeah,
Lay the base,
Yeah.
and then grow from there.
Yep.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hot round! Red 7, red 7, red 7! Hot round! Down! Set! Hut! 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 Hut!
Happer, have you ever been to an event, concert, or sporting event where you could buy alcohol, but you could not bring it into the actual performance?
You could drink it in the
the
foyer.
foyer.
Yeah, the foyer.
Oh, what did you do this?
Last night, I went to Mannheim Steamroller with my parents and my wife
And where?
at
Where?
Lead Center.
His people.
And they were selling alcohol. They had several booths open to buy wine, spirits, beer,
Yeah.
cookies, popcorn. So I go before the concert, 5 minutes before, I go get a glass of wine for me
Uh-huh.
and Elizabeth. And I go to walk into the theater and say,
Sir?
you
Sir?
can't bring that in here. I said,
What do you mean? I just bought it.
exactly. I said, what are you talking about? Yeah, they said it's a COVID thing. I said, why are you selling alcohol here?
It's a COVID thing.
Yeah.
I said, it's a COVID
Did
thing.
she say, "Sir"? Did you get that?
I stood there and said, I'm just shaking my head like, what are you,
Sir?
what are you talking about? So I had to chug 2 glasses of wine before I went into the actual concert.
You didn't have to, but
I'm not going to just waste $13. You're going to chug the one.
No, I got you.
So you have not had that happen to you before.
I think that's pretty uncommon. I've never heard that before.
Let's sell alcohol and drink it only outside of the concert.
Jake's had some concession issues.
I would like to ask just a couple more questions to the
Go
guy,
ahead.
not to
Yeah.
you,
Oh.
to the guy. Like, okay, it's a COVID thing. Could you elaborate?
That's what Jake wanted.
I said, why was I able to buy alcohol here then?
Just tell me what, like, COVID. Okay, why? Like, what does it have to do with COVID?
Why would you sell this in a place you can't bring it into the performance? What's the point? I don't need it in the foyer.
Was it a glass?
It was a plastic cup.
Did it have a lid on it?
No.
You could convene early at the event
But they
and
would-
stand in the foyer and
When
have
I
a
went to
drink.
Hamilton, they gave me a drink, but it had in a plastic cup with a lid on it.
But they had beer that was in cans, but you still couldn't bring that in either.
I don't know, man. I can't explain that one to you. Maybe he was just playing a prank.
I
on
don't
you.
know. I had to chug 2 glasses of
Maybe
wine.
he was. Maybe he's playing a prank on you.
No,
and you were.
it was a
just-
woman, right? It was a woman that stopped you, that said, "Sir."
Yeah, it was a woman.
Yeah.
Maybe she was playing a prank on you, and she was like, "I want to watch this guy chug two glasses of wine."
Well, I sure did, and it was fuzzy for a few minutes.
Good for you. Good for you.
Here I am.
Yeah.
Here
All
today.
right. Wow.
Yes.
No, I've never heard of that.
Happer and
I like
Schaefer is next for Steve Sipple. I'm Jake Sorensen. See you.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air's motto is our family